guys. I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, The Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. What is going on? I am your host, none other than Stephen Daniels. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Home of the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. Y'all ready for the rundown this morning? We're going to get right into it because we got a big show lined up for you today. All right. Want to say good morning to my Finlaws and my family. I'm Stephen D. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Make sure you also follow Miami Sports Music on all social media at Miami Sports Music and also at MIA Sports Music as well. Make sure when you guys come on in, or ladies, make sure you hit the like button, give us the big thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, I don't know what you're doing. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys are doing that. All right. We are excited about that. Can't grow without your help. Let's get to 9,000 subscribers, and let's do it sooner rather than later. My goal is to try to hit 9,000 subscribers before the start of the season gets going on, and during the season we get to 10,000. So that would be a big milestone. So let's make sure we share with our family and our friends and let them know, hey, look, subscribe to Miami Sports Music. Let's go. Look, if you want to sign up and become a member and part of the family, there are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. I'll do my Vin Diesel family. Make sure you sign up today. There are plenty of seats at the table. There's going to be a lot of awesome perks this coming up football season. So make sure y'all do that. Von Joe says, Stephen D, you didn't do the voice. Say family the right way. I like it. Family. There we go. I love it when y'all call me out on stuff that I do all the time, and when you don't get it, you're like, no, that's not how you say family. You say family like Vin Diesel says family on Fast and Furious. Family. See, I'm like Vin Diesel. All right, maybe I don't get paid like him or look like him, but I say one word like him. Okay. Anyways, we'll keep on going in the rundown real quick. Make sure you also help the channel grow by donating. There are plenty of different ways to donate to the channel. The first way is use the YouTube live super chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat. You can also use Cash App and PayPal. If you want to use Cash App, use the QR code right here on your screen, and make sure you use $MSM Podcast Network. And also PayPal is also MSM Podcast Network. Even if it's $1, it goes to helping the channel grow. And there's a lot of different things we want to do this football season. So make sure if you're able to donate, please donate. It goes such a long way. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the ZSM Sports and Tail Greeter. Just because the tailgate doesn't stop doesn't mean that you have to. Download the app today on your current Apple or Android device and follow Tail Greeter on social media at TAILGREETER. Make sure if you're coming to Miami, remember we got the Baltimore Miami to Baltimore for week 2. We got the Baltimore Beatdown 2022. Make sure you guys purchase your tailgates and game tickets now. We have game tickets and tailgate tickets up there. Make sure you go to tailgreeter.com or download the free app, put in Baltimore Beatdown, and get your tickets for it today because it's going to be an awesome, awesome ride. All right, today is Tuesday. No, today's Thursday. We usually have my man Daniel on Tuesdays, but due to scheduling conflictions, as well as Daniel's the man, he's like, look, Steven, the way this has got to work is I got to do this on Thursday right now, okay? I'm too busy for you on Tuesday. I can't be doing this on Tuesday. I got to be here on Thursday. I said, whatever you need, Daniel, I'll make it work for you because you're my brother from another mother. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Daniel Oyefusi. What is up, man? How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, man. Why are you lying to the people, man? You know, I was going to war with TSA and Florida Department of Motor Vehicles. I had some travel issues.
Let me tell you something. And they are more important than my clock blockers. Let me tell you, when you're dealing with that, look, it's a nightmare. I've dealt with it. I get it. I understand it. I wasn't throwing you under the bus. I was merely stating that you had a schedule confliction that took precedence over clock blockers. But you were like, you know what? I'm going to be there this week. Don't worry. Your listeners are still going to get a dose of Daniel Oyefusi. And I made sure that they did, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. All right. So we're, before we get into what we're going to talk about today, we're like, we're 10 days away from training camp. How many days away from training camp are we?
About 13 days, just a little under 2 weeks.
All right. So we're 13 days away from training camp. What do you do to get in the mindset for covering this team on a day in, day out basis for the next 6 months?
Yeah, well, I'll say if there is something like specific to do, I haven't done it. I'm trying to enjoy these next 2 weeks. Obviously, you start to do some reading, do some research, make sure that you're in knowledge of everyone on the roster. I mean, even when I was coming back from my travel issues, I was breaking down the roster, kind of, seeing where the numbers at each position and how the roster may shake out, and just reading other people's work. Obviously I not only want to be a master of the beat, but I want to know the other teams in the division, the conference, so you can read other people's content and just try to get as knowledgeable. Just soak yourself in that knowledge, and hopefully when training camp comes, you can cover the team to the best of my abilities.
Yeah, man. Look, I totally get that. I think that. I tagged you on a tweet yesterday that Taylor Rooks.
I saw it. I fell asleep by the time you mentioned me, but I saw it this morning. I was thinking we could just address it on the show, but better to do it there.
Well, that's a good thing. So basically, let me try to go through my profile and see all the retweets and stuff I send people. I know that they've been having some issues, so I don't see it quite up here. So Taylor Rooks, who covers everything, all sports. Here it goes. Matter of fact, right here. Let me put this up and throw this up on the screen. Share screen. There we go. She says, nobody covers, as I pull this down, she goes, nobody covers teams, players better than beat writers. People ask how much I'll research for interviews. And it all begins and ends with them. Don't get caught up in the national outlets. Real prep, real stories, real moments, all live there. I encourage everyone to find a favorite beat writer in their market. How big is this when somebody like Taylor Rooks shouts out what you do on a day in, day out basis?
No, it's definitely cool, and it's funny that she tweeted that out because I actually, out of it's kind of random, but I saw her doing an interview, and I'm a fan of Taylor Rooks, fan of her work, and I was curious to where she got her start. I know she went to University of Illinois, and I was curious how she kind of got to where she was, and as I kind of did a quick background search on her, I saw that she actually she has that experience, that beat writer experience. She kind of made her name and started off doing a lot of high school, college recruiting type stuff. She won some awards. She broke news. So it is cool, even though that she's kind of on this national platform now, for her to kind of shed light and kind of give love to, I guess, all the beat writers. But she's right. I mean, even if you look back at, again, if you're a person who, just really just watches, talk shows and whatnot, outside of maybe the national scoops that get talked about in the national news breaking, I mean, a lot of the information that these people are getting is from the beat writers. I mean, that's where the source of a lot of this information comes from, and they take that and they use it to kind of to spark their talking points. So again, I mean, it really starts. I mean, the core of reporting starts in local reporting. That's not just covering the local mayor's office or the governor, but also your local sports teams and stuff like that. So it really does start at a localized level, and that's where it kind of grows from there.
I think it's really big because when a couple of years ago, a lot of the beat writers for the Dolphins ended up moving to bigger, going to other platforms. I don't want to say bigger platforms, although that's what it was, right? And so there was a few new beat writer positions open, and we got a chance to get the wonderful Daniel Oyefusi to come to town here from Baltimore. What is it? We talk about head coaching positions being 32. Right? There's 32 head coaching positions. I tell people all the time, there's not a lot of beat writer positions in the NFL. And there's usually a big outlet in that media, whether that be the Baltimore Sun in Baltimore or the Miami Herald here in Miami. And if you're one of those beat writers, you have one of those exclusive very limited jobs in America that there's not that many of. One last thing before we get into what we want to talk about, what did you have to do to get to this platform? Like, explain that to people that might be interested. And I like to write. I would love to write for the Miami Dolphins or cover how did you get here?
Well, I'll start off by saying, excuse me. I mean, you are right. I mean, it's definitely a limited and exclusive and a coveted position. I mean, I think that the Dolphins beat is probably maybe close to double the size of the Ravens beat. I mean, it might be kind of exaggerating, but again, in Baltimore, we have the Baltimore Sun, who I used to work for, there's ESPN, there's The Athletic, there's Press Box, which is another online-only publication.
I'm familiar with them.
Yeah, but those are like the only writing spots in Baltimore. I mean, outside of that, obviously you have the radio station, 105.7. You have some of the TV stations and whatnot. But outside of that, there's only really like 4 major like
beat writers.
Yeah, exactly. In Miami, it's a little bigger because we have and again, it's only the Sun was the only place that had 2 beat writers on the beat. Every other outlet had 1. So you go to Miami and you have the Herald has 2 beat writers, and then we even have additional guys kind of help on the beat. You have the Sun Sentinel, which has 2 writers and columnists. You have the Palm Beach Post, which has 2 writers. ESPN. And then it's obviously like the online, some of the online only publications like Sports Illustrated and whatnot. So it's a little bigger, but again, I mean, it definitely is a coveted position. In terms of what I did to get there, I mean, I always like to say like one of my favorite quotes is, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. So obviously, I had to put the work in college and getting internships and writing for online, on-campus publications. But then it was a little bit of kind of like networking and just being in the right rooms and my name being in the right rooms. So it's a little bit of that, a little bit of all those things, but it definitely is like a coveted position. Like, I talk about it a lot with my friends in the industry. Like, you only see a couple spots open up every year. And I feel like that's sports in general. I mean, a lot of positions in sports, whether that's marketing, whether that's communications, whether that's being on the beat, they're few and far between. And because there's such, coveted jobs, like I was talking when I was first coming up, I was talking to a veteran reporter that was like, the NFL beat is by far the best beat out of all like the major American sports, because
NBA, Major League Baseball, all of them.
82 games, 162 games, multiple weeks of travel. I mean, I remember one time I was talking to an NBA writer to like just kind of network when I was in college, and she was like, "Oh, like, sorry, I'm getting on a flight to New Orleans, and then after that I'm going to Dallas, and then 2 days later I'm going." It's like
they're everywhere. They're living out of a suitcase for
exactly the
months.
NFL at 17 weeks, 8 or 9 weeks of travel, maybe a little bit more if you're in the playoffs, and then after that the off season is,
which we will be this year.
Yeah,
just wanted to throw that out there for you. Be prepared.
Yeah, and after that, the off season is the off season, but the travel is just not nearly as much. So it's definitely a lot more like bearable on your stress, on your physical welfare. If you have a family, it's a little more manageable. So it definitely is a competitive market, just overall.
Well, I think we're lucky and really blessed to have you in this market, and I'm excited to see what you're going to do this year because, this year things got kind of a little bit more open. I think you're going to have more access to players this year. I think that's a big deal. So I'm really excited to see what you do this year, and I'm glad that you're here and you're a part of it and that you're doing the show, man. So let's get right into it. Last week, we broke down the offensive side of the roster and the depth chart and who might make this team and who might not. So we're going to do the same thing this morning, but for the defense and special team side, okay? So let's go ahead.
I did my prep too, man. I did my prep too. I was on the flight. I was writing down the roster. Who I think I came prepared, man. I got the spreadsheet.
You're ready to go.
All
right. Well, this is good. All right. So let's start out with. I'm just gonna go break it down let's go defensive end. Okay. So defensive end, we got Emmanuel Ogbah.
We might have a little bit of different characterizations in terms of where you put the guys, especially on defense, because they play.
So I'll tell you, I'm using ourlads.com, the NFL jet out on ourlads, which I have found over the last couple of years to be pretty accurate. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I was actually using it recently, so yeah.
All right, so Emmanuel Ogbah, Adam Butler, Owen Carney, who I don't, he's a rookie. I don't think he's going to make the squad, but that's your defensive end. I don't know if there's any other defensive ends per se that I'm missing here. This is what they have on the depth chart for DE.
Yeah.
So Emmanuel Agba, Adam Butler. Just what do you know? Emmanuel getting the money. He got the bag this offseason. That's a big deal. How do players play after they get the bag? Normally, in the history of the NFL, I feel like that's something where, okay, they're not on a contract year anymore. Does their production go down? I don't think that way, by the way, about Emmanuel. I still think Emmanuel's going to be productive this year, but I'm curious to know what you think about Emmanuel getting the bag this offseason and how his production will play out this year and what type of role, or do you see Adam Butler making the team?
Yeah, I mean, with Agba, I think that it was definitely well deserved. I mean, this was a guy who started off, I believe, in Kansas City, and then, Cleveland, and then went to Kansas City. Might be mixing it up, but had some injury stuff, wasn't able to stay healthy, and then it just clicked in Miami. So it was definitely well deserved. I thought it was a really good deal for both sides. With these contracts, I mean, the worry is, I guess the worry is, especially from the front office perspective, is like, oh, we gave him the money and like his best production is already behind him. You'd hope that it's ahead of him, and I believe. I mean, he's still fairly young. He's like 28 or 27 or so.
Yeah.
I mean, you would hope that he's right in the prime. I think he tied his career high in sacks again. So you hope that he can still continue to contribute. I think he's a very versatile player. He fits perfectly in this defense. So the hope is that his best production is ahead of him. It's not like you have a situation where you're 2 years down the line and you're like, oh man, the Dolphins got to get rid of this guy because he's not producing. I mean, you'd hope that that's not the case and that he's really, really, it's even more of a value. Like they got him at a value deal the past couple of years. So you hope that maybe he's still ascending. Maybe he has another level he can reach. And then in 2-3 years, you're like, oh, we got this guy on a steal. But I think that he's going to be solid. Adam Butler, he was a guy who was kind of like he was a rotational guy. I thought he had a pretty solid season. In terms of the overall sack numbers, it wasn't necessarily what it was. And
the production wasn't there, but I enjoyed watching him play. I thought he was a good player.
Yeah, I thought he was a really good part of the rotation. He's a guy who's kind of more like interior defensive line. I know it said defensive end, but he'll play a little D tackle. I think he's not really like more nose tackle. It's kind of like in between the center and the guard. But I think that he'll make this team as a rotational guy. So for sure, I expect him to make the roster. After that, you have a bunch of like interior defensive line, which we'll get to. But the defense is so versatile. Well, they'll move guys around. Like they'll play defensive end a little bit. They'll move in and play interior defensive line. Sometimes they might even play nose tackle.
Well, let's go to the hybrid role before we go to the interior defensive line. Guys that might play defensive end on the opposite side or an outside linebacker position, and that would be Jalen Phillips, Melvin Ingram, Porter Gustin is on here, as well as DeAndre Johnson. Let's start with Jalen Phillips coming off his rookie year, having a pretty big year. Do you see him playing more defensive end or more outside linebacker position? I know he plays that kind of hybrid role. And then obviously bringing in a veteran like Melvin Ingram, a perennial Pro Bowler, somebody who, obviously I think makes this team a lot better than what it was the day before we signed him. What do you think about, those two guys before we get into like Porter Gustin and DeAndre Johnson?
Yeah, I thought Jalen had a really strong year. Obviously, 8.5 sacks. He had a really crazy stretch where I think he had like a sack in like 3 or 4 straight games. So that was really strong. I think that it's one of these is like, it's one of those cases where sometimes the numbers may fool you. I thought he had a really strong year, but I think that he would even admit there's a lot that he can improve on, particularly on, stopping the run and being a little better, getting off blocks and, and run defense. I think that one thing about him is that he's really good in, what's the word I'm looking for, in pursuit. So like the backside. So, if they do like an outside zone to the right and he's on the opposite side, he's really great at pursuit because he has that speed. But in terms of like winning at the point of attack, shedding his block and getting to the defender, I think that's something that he can definitely improve on. You even saw it in the snap counts. Like when they played teams with a really good running offenses, like I remember like he had limited snaps against teams like the Colts who had a really strong running offense, teams against the Falcons. And afterward, we'd ask, Flores and blanking on defensive coordinator right now, but
Boyer.
Yeah, Josh Boyer. Thank you. So Josh Boyer. So we'd ask him like, why isn't he getting snaps? And they're like, oh, like we like to use our guys interchangeably and they have different roles. And that was pretty much code for like he needs to improve. in terms of where he plays, I think that it looks like he said he trimmed his body a little bit. He kind of dropped a little bit of weight, a little bit of fat, but he added more muscle. But it doesn't seem like, I don't know.
It's about Jalen, right?
Yeah, Jalen Phillips, not Josh Boyer. Jalen Phillips. But I don't know. Josh Boyer a little more buff when I see him. But
well, I'll tell you what's funny about that is, the Honorable Solo D, who is the creator of Miami sports music, and also Mr. Turnover Chain himself. We've talked about Jalen Phillips. Like, that man looks like, if anybody on this roster looks like they're in shape, it's Jalen Phillips. Like, Jalen Phillips looks ripped. Okay. And so if he's talking about he has % body fat, bro, I got a whole body of body fat. Let me tell you, okay? So if you're talking about he trimmed some body fat, let me know where, cuz. Let me know where.
Yeah,
okay?
I think overall his workout program, like when we saw him for the first time during offseason workout programs, I mean his offseason regimen didn't really lend itself to believe that he's going to be like in the trenches more defensive end. I know a lot of fans are they don't want him to be dropping back in coverage, and they want him to just kind of like be more of a pass rusher. And I'll say two things. I forgot where the stats were, but I saw some numbers a couple weeks ago that said that like Jalen Phillips rarely ever was in coverage. Like he was either rushing the passer or he was in run defense. So they didn't really ask him to. They asked him to drop in coverage far fewer times than you would think. But I also think that versatility is beneficial in this defense. I mean, you don't want to put a guy on the field, especially up front, where the offense already knows this guy is a one-trick pony. He's only going to do one thing. They can use that to their advantage. So again, I think that's going to be a really strong year for him. I think that if he can get better against the run, that's more snaps for him. That's more potential pass opportunities for him. And again, I don't know if like the numbers go up again because
I do. I think they do. I think he's going to get more sacks this year.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the Dolphins were at the top of the league in sacks. I think Melvin Ingram is going to help. I think, again, who's to say? I mean, I think you could have a situation where maybe he has 8 sacks again, but the production is he has more hurries and more knockdowns and more QB hits. But definitely the arrow is looking up for him.
All right, so you have Jalen Phillips, Melvin Ingram obviously making the team. We also have Adam Butler and Emmanuel Ogbah making the team. The 3 guys that I said so far, Owen Carney on defensive end, and then Porter Gustin or DeAndre Johnson. DeAndre also being, if I'm correct, he's a University of Miami product, right?
That's
DeAndre
correct.
Johnson.
Yeah,
do any of those 3 guys make the 53, or what do you think about those guys?
I mean, I don't think so right now. I think it's especially on defense. There's so much talent there. I think it's
so much depth.
Yeah, I think it's an uphill battle. I mean, even we didn't mention these 2 guys, but Andrew Meginko, obviously he's outside linebacker, edge type player. He's going to make the roster. Brendan Scarlett, who I think that
we're going to get to those guys. We're going to don't give it away. Don't give it away. I just wanted to make sure we got 4 so far from the defense that are making the active roster. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to nose tackle. Raekwon Davis, John Jenkins, Benito Jones, Jordan Williams. Raekwon Davis, John Jenkins playing nose tackle. How do you see the nose tackle role playing this year with the Dolphins defense? And what do you think about Raekwon Davis and John Jenkins for the most part?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't see much changing with like the overall defensive philosophy. Maybe they put some wrinkles in there. So I think that again, you'll see Raekwon Davis in kind of a lot of those base sets as the maybe 0 technique, 1 technique over the center. Maybe it's a little shaded on either side of the center. I thought John Jenkins, he got a couple starts when Raekwon Davis went down. I think he's a serviceable vet. I mean, if Raekwon is healthy, John Jenkins probably won't be active on game day, but he's a serviceable nose tackle. And who was the last guy you said? Adam Butler? Or no, not Adam Butler.
Benito Jones and Jordan Williams. Does Benito make this 53, man? Because he's been on the team for.
I mean, he's been on the practice squad a little bit, so I think that again, he's more of a depth piece. If knock on wood is an injury,
so he's somebody that's probably not going to dress.
Yeah. I mean, if he makes a team, he's one of those inactive guys. I think I see him more of as a practice squad player.
So we have him as a bubble person. Let's just say for right now. Okay, so. That adds 2 more, so now we have 6. We got Raekwon and John Jenkins making the active roster. Okay. Yeah. Now let's go to defensive tackle. Christian Wilkins, Zach Seiler, Ben Steele. Let me just throw this out there. Christian Wilkins, going to have a career year this year. I'm just throwing it out there. I think he's going to take another step up. I don't know. There's just something about him that I love. And until I see him not produce and his numbers go down, I'm going to say every year his numbers are going up till it doesn't happen, because I think he's gotten better. Heck, I think he's gotten better every game, personally. I mean, I'm going to break it down in its simplest form. And then Zach Seiler, you and I, but him being from Baltimore, and look, that kid's good. There's just not
I
much
think
to say about him.
he can start on a lot of teams, honestly.
He's really good. So what do you think about Seiler and Wilkins, and then Ben Steele too?
No, I agree with you on Wilkins. I thought he had a really strong year. I mean, through like the first half of the season, I thought he was their best player, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And you could make the argument, maybe Xavier, Jalen Waddle, Javon Holland. I think Christian Wilkins was definitely one of the top players last year. I mean, he's entering the fifth year. Excuse me, he's entering the fifth year option year. So you'd hope that maybe he takes that another step right now. Maybe if he becomes like a really disruptive as a pass rusher, and I think he said he had a career high in sacks. But if he really starts to become like really disruptive as a pass rusher, then you're like, all right, this guy could be like a really, really special. Because I think he's really, really good against the run right now, and he's showing improvement as a pass rusher. Zach Seiler is just like, it's just crazy. It's like he gets like 20 snaps a game, and then you look at the box score, and it's like 5 tackles, a sack, tackle for loss. So he's a great rotational piece, and I keep on saying I think he would start on a. I think
he would start on 15 or 16 teams in the NFL.
Exactly. Outside of that, I think again, I mean these guys are so interchangeable. I think that those are probably the two guys that definitely make the roster.
Ben Steele.
I think that I believe he's an undrafted rookie, so that's again it's kind of a long shot. Maybe a practice squad guy. I think we may have mentioned. I think we already mentioned Adam Butler, but yeah, he's another guy that kind of will play similar positions.
Just to preface this, I'll say that I only think there's 2 rookies on the defensive side that can make the roster, and we'll talk about them here in a minute. All right, so we got Christian Wilkins, Zach Seiler. That's 8 now. So we have 8 people that are on the active 53-man on the defensive side. Let's go to the linebacker positions. All right, on outside linebacker, we got Andrew Van Ginkel, Brandon Scarlett, Cameron Good, Darius Hodge, and then we also have, obviously, we already talked about Jalen Melvin. We're not going to go there because they're more hybrid. So where do you see Van Ginkel, Brandon Scarlett? You already said just a little bit ago, you gave it away. You think these guys are making the squad, but anything in particular on these 2 guys that you think stand out for this year?
Yeah, I think that Brendan Scarlett is a unique. Well, I'll start with Van Ginkel. I think that again, he's just going to be. I expect him to be the starting outside linebacker. Opposite Jalen Phillips. He's kind of one of those 2 guys where it's like he's never going to make a Pro Bowl, never going to get like a All Pro nod, but he just does a lot of really good things for the defense. A real effort guy, but he's also like really athletic too. I mean. I think he's just like a very, very sound player. That's the best way to put it. He just always around the ball, always in the right place. I think Brendan Scarlett, again, I mean, I would expect, and you would hope that Jalen Phillips would trend to be more close to an every down player, starting more most of the time. And then Brendan Scarlett is a guy who's pretty solid against the run. I think that we could see some defensive end from him. I think he has the size for it. So I expect all those guys to kind of be in the mix with those outside linebackers slash edge kind of responsibilities in some cases.
What about Cameron Good? Does Cameron Good make this squad?
It's tough. I think it becomes a numbers game, and I think that he's a guy who probably, unless he like really shines in training camp or preseason, and he shows that he can pick up a core, he can play core special teams. I think that right now it kind of becomes a numbers game, and he's probably on the outs. I don't want to say outside looking in, but it's like I know he's a 7th round pick, but I don't think his spot is definitely solidified. I could be wrong. Maybe they're like, hey, we want to keep.
I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to be a bubble person. I think my hope is that we see some decent things in preseason, but ultimately we're able to hide him on the practice squad. That's what I hope happens. With him. Okay, let's go to inside linebacker. Okay, left and right side inside linebacker here. We got Jerome Baker, Duke Riley, Calvin Munson, Landon Roberts, Channing Tindall, Sammy Guevon. Okay, so out of these 6 guys, I think there's a good chance that 5 of them make the team. Okay, I know, right? Because, by the way, so if we were at 8, Van Ginkel, by the way, that's 7. Brandon Scarlett, or 9. Brandon Scarlett is 10. So right now we have 10 out of the potential 25 slots that are available on the defensive side, right? Because we had 25 on offense. So there's 15 more available slots. So we got Landon Roberts, Channing Tindall, Sammy Guevon, Jerome Baker, Duke Riley, Calvin Munson. Let's just break this down player by player real quick here, okay? Landon Roberts, tell me what you think about him, what type of year you think he'll have. By the way, he's one of our listeners, Von Joe. It's his favorite player. He absolutely loves Landon Roberts. I'm being very sarcastic right now. He can't stand him. But what do you think about Landon Roberts this year?
Yeah, I mean, he's a leader on the team. He's a captain. I think that a year removed from that ACL injury, I mean, he should be even a little better. But, I think that they have very defined niche roles for especially the inside linebacker. So, Landon's going to be the run-stopping guy, the early down guy, the third and short guy. And that's fine. I mean, he's going to fill that role, and I'm sure he'll do fine. Jerome Baker, obviously, is kind of like the leader of that group. He's going to be on the field just about every single play because, I mean, unless they change up the play calling responsibilities, he's the defensive play caller. So he'll be on the field every single play. Duke Riley is the guy that I talked about, a couple of weeks ago. I thought that he had a really, really good off-season workout program. He looked really, really good in the OTAs. I expect him to make the roster. I think that you could put him on the bubble, but I think he's firmly on the right side of the bubble right now.
I agree with that too.
Barring anything happening, I think he's going to get some significant playing time, especially because he can play special teams too. So you got 3 right there. I think that they keep 4. I think Tindall becomes the final guy that they keep. I don't know.
Whoa! You gonna march over my man Sammy Guevon?
That's my guy too.
I got his my wife got me his jersey. True story. After he had 4 sacks in the Cincinnati preseason game, she's like, "Oh, this guy's a good player. I got you his jersey." By the way, I love Sammy Guevon. So yes, you're telling me my man Sam's not making the team, bro?
I mean, this is the thing. They have so many interchangeable parts on defense. So it's like Sam, I think the one thing going for him is that he does play special teams. So
Sam's making this team. I'm just letting you know right now. He's going to make the squad. He's going to make the squad, Daniel.
I mean, 5 inside linebackers. It's going to be tough to have all those guys active on game days. And I really think that Duke Riley is going to be – he's not going to be – obviously not going to be a star, but I think he's going to play a big role on this defense in some spots. And even, like, you can look through and you got guys who like safeties who can play, inside linebacker in dime packages. So I don't know about keeping 5. I think they keep 4.
Look, Channing Tindall, I said the moment we drafted him, I said is he a starter right away? Probably not. But he will come in right away, week 1, and make an impact, not just on special teams, but on defense. Like, the kid is legit good. So I love Channing Tindall, right? So I agree with you. I think he's one of 2 rookies that I think makes the defensive squad. So right off the bat there. But I can't see them getting rid of Sammy Guevon because of his hybrid role with special teams. And the kid's good. Like, and if he makes any improvement than what he did last year.
Again, it becomes a numbers game. I mean, to be honest, he didn't play a ton. He didn't play a ton in 2021. I mean, compared to 2020, I mean, again, it was a lot of Duke Riley. I mean, the second half of the season, it was Duke Riley that really stepped into that role of kind of being that third linebacker who they count on. So obviously, you have Riley, you have Tindall there. That's 4 linebackers, especially how much they play sub packages and whatnot. I mean, you're not going to have a lot of.
So that would put, if we did 4, that leaves us with 19, right? Which leaves us with.
Is it 19 or 14?
14, right? Okay. Which leaves us with 11 slots left for the secondary, right?
Yep.
So you think 11 people from the secondary are going to make this roster?
I'm counting right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think 10, but I may have had a typo here because I got Eric wrote twice. But
okay, See, there's Sammy Guevon's spot. Don't be knocking on my man Sam. I'm trying to tell you, Daniel, Sam's gonna make this roster, and I expect a public apology on Twitter.
We can give it to Sam because I put Eric
roster.
Rowe twice. We can give it to Sam right now because I got Eric Rowe twice in here.
Okay. See, you were up late thinking you just overlooked. You were like Eric Rowe. You must have been having dreams. You know what? Let's just go straight to Eric Rowe. Let's go to the strong safety position and the safety positions in general. Free safety, strong safety. We got Brandon Jones, Eric Rowe, Clayton Fedulum, Javon Holland, Sheldrick Redwine, and Verone McKinley. Okay, so let me just tell you right now, crazy safety. Like all six of these guys.
I found the guy that I was missing.
Redwine.
There we go. Redwine. That's the guy I missed.
So you have Redwine over Igbonogony? We'll come back to Igbonogony.
Yeah.
You have him as a bubble person. I have him as making the squad. Okay. All right. So right now we have 14, 15, right? But so that's 10 or 11 spots that we have available to make this squad left over. All right. So let's start. Brandon Jones, Javon Holland. Javon Holland, I think, gets consideration for defensive MVP this year. Like, I'm telling you, I think he's that good. You agree? Disagree?
No. He's great. He has it all. I mean, he can cover, he can blitz, he can play in the box, he can play single high, he can put him out as a cornerback because he's done that in college.
He will be the best defensive player on this roster. There's no doubt in my mind. And that includes X.
Better than X. Wow.
Yep, I'm telling you, he's gonna have
I think he's gonna have more opportunities to make like a visible, tangible impact because with X is like such a great cornerback that a lot of times he doesn't even like get the balls thrown to him. Whereas Holland is gonna be like the deep safety when they blitzes. So Holland's gonna be the guy, knocking.
He's gonna get balls thrown towards him.
Yeah. Exactly. So I can see that. But yeah, I mean Holland he's up there. I mean
He's gonna have sacks and interceptions this year.
Yeah, I mean he's a very intrinsically motivated guy. I know like he spent time with X at the Pro Bowl, and I was talking to him about that. And
matter of fact, Daniel, I got a hot take for you. You ready? You ready for my hot take? Get your receipts ready, y'all. I'm telling y'all right now, Javon Holland this year. Y'all ain't ready for this hot take. Y'all are not ready for this hot take. He's gonna have 5 interceptions, okay. 5 plus interceptions, and 5 plus sacks.
Interesting.
5. You got look. You typing it down. He's gonna have 5 plus interceptions and 5 plus sacks. And what I need from you, Daniel, is to do some research.
I'm doing research.
Tell me the last time a player in the NFL has made 5 plus interceptions and 5 plus sacks in the same season.
Doing that right now.
Because that I'm telling you, I think Javon Holland's legit gonna have like a crazy year.
Let's multitask. So let's keep on going through it as I look this up. But,
okay, so we got those two guys, and Brandon Jones and Javon Holland. I think Brandon Jones, by the way, is also it's gonna be. Cruz Ruiz says hashtag hot take, Steven. Your take ain't hot if 90% of the people think the same thing.
That's like a Luca one.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Eric Rowe and Sheldrick Redwine. Eric Rowe, obviously, you had him twice. That's how much he's going to make this team. He's going to make the team twice. I think he's fine. Sheldrick Redwine, I think, is a very interesting case. Why do you think he's going to make the squad?
Sheldrick Redwine. I mean,
his special teams ability is part of it. I know that.
Yeah. One thing I'll say is I think that it'll be interesting to see like what like kind of friends decisions were made, like how much of some of these player roster decisions was like, oh, this was really Flo's guy, as opposed to like Josh Boyer is now the leader of the defense, and it's like this is Josh Boyer's guy. But you even saw, I mean, they brought Sheldrick, they got him off waivers last year. I remember when I think it was Brandon Jones was out for injury. Sheldrick Redwine and kind of got the nod, and he got some snaps on. I think it was like the Panthers. He got some snaps, so you can kind of see. I mean, they saw something in him where they felt confident. Like, hey, we need him in a pinch. We're going to throw him out there. Obviously, he has the special teams capability. So I do think that they do kind of like him, and And I mean, also say that, I mean, they need a backup safety. I mean, they don't really have a backup free safety. Eric Rowe is more of I don't want to say box safety, but he's not like a deep safety. So they do need a backup free safety right now. They don't have that.
So I think he makes the squad.
All right, you ready? I have the information that you.
All right, go ahead. Last time an NFL player had 5+ interceptions and 5+ sacks in the same season.
2019.
And who was it?
Darius Leonard in 2019 had 5 sacks and 5 interceptions. In 2013, Levante David had 7 sacks and 5 interceptions. And then in 2007. So it doesn't happen a lot. I mean, it's happened 14 times.
I'm telling you all right now. Put your receipt on it. Hot take. Stephen D predicts Javon Holland will have 5+ sacks and 5+ interceptions. The third time in the last, let's say, 10 years it's happened.
Yeah. 2019, 2013, 2007, 2004.
I want my credit on that when you do your thing. Clock Blockers morning show host Stephen Daniels successfully predicted early in the preseason or before training camp ever began that Javon Holland was going to have I expect that in an article later on this year. Okay. Don't forget.
I hear you.
All right. Okay. So Cedric Redwine, he makes the team. Yay, nay?
Yeah, I believe he does.
Okay, so that's 4, right? Clayton Fidgelum.
I think he's a bubble guy, but I think he's gonna. Right now, I gave him the edge as a core special teams guy. I mean, he's not gonna play. I don't know if Clayton played any defense snaps last year.
He played a few.
Not many though. It wasn't many. He was like almost exclusively a special teams guy. I think that's where he'll make this roster.
All right, Verone McKinley, who, by the way, I said 2 defensive rookies makes this team. He's the second one that I think has surprised people and makes the team. Correct me if I'm wrong. McKinley's from South Carolina. He was a Gamecock, right?
No. He was at Oregon. He was
Oh yeah, okay. He's the other guy that played with Javon Holland.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay, I'm telling you right now, he's gonna make the squad. That's my other hot take.
If he makes the roster, Clayton Fedulum will not be on this roster. I'll say that.
Okay, so
he's gonna have to play special teams.
So you think 5 safeties make the team, not 6? Where I actually think all 6 have a chance to make the roster personally. But let's go to the corners, because the question then is, who do you put out of there, right?
Yeah.
All right. So before we go into 5 or 6 on there, okay, let's go to the corners. We got Xavier Howard, Noah Igbonogony, Quincy Wilson, Elijah Hamilton, Byron Jones, Keon Crossan, and Kadir Kahu. X numbers go up or down personally. What do you think this year from X?
I mean, X. It was. I'm trying. I gotta look. I forgot how many interceptions X had. It wasn't like I don't think it was a ton. I mean, he had 5 interceptions. I mean, you can never. I mean, you know. I mean, I'm just looking at his career. He went from 0 to 4 to 7 to 1 to 10. I mean, I don't know. Interceptions can be kind of fluky sometimes too.
I think, but you have to admit, even if that shouldn't have been my question. My question should have been, is his production value still like? Even though his numbers went down last year, I still think he was he was just as productive last year for us.
Player,
yeah, 100%. People weren't throwing his way. He was a shutdown corner. No, like some crazy numbers last year for him that people didn't. Whatever it was, like 90% of the passes thrown to him didn't get. It was something stupid. I don't know the exact thing.
I think that I mean, I don't like to speak negatively about players, but you have to bring it up. I think that the one thing that is maybe in the back of your mind is the fact that he is, I don't want to say getting up there in age. 29 is still young, but in terms of elite cornerbacks, he's starting to progress toward, he's getting to 30. I mean, he's going to be 30 next year, next July. So I think that the one thing that you kind of knock, I mean, barring health, he's a top cornerback in the league. That's the best way to put it. Barring health, he's a top cornerback in the league. And obviously he has that new rework deal. He's going to be here hopefully for several years to come. So again, I say barring health, he's going to be a top cornerback because we saw the first half of 2021 when he was dealing with, I think it was I don't even know what he was dealing with. It seemed like it was knee or something like that, or I don't know. But he was dealing with something and it was just it was weird. It was he didn't play in the Jacksonville game in London, and you could tell he wasn't right in that Tampa Bay game. So that's why I say, barring health, I mean, he's going to be a top cornerback in the league, and he should be fine.
Okay. All right. No, Noah, let's go with Igbonogony.
He makes
Like
the team.
what?
He's making the team. The Dolphins can't afford to cut him right now, so he's going to make the team. Unless he gets traded, and I don't see that happening.
My question is, do you think he'll be productive for this team?
I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. He can be productive on special teams, and I'm not trying to be funny. Like he's not.
He didn't dress 3 games last year, Daniel.
That's why I say he can be productive on special teams.
Okay.
Because barring injury, there is no feasible way for him to get significant defensive snaps. Barring injury, there's no way for him to get significant defensive snaps. So that's what I'll say. I think that the first step for him, and I hate that we're saying this about a former first-round pick in his 3rd season, the first step for him is to be active every single game.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the first step for him.
Your goal this year, Noah Igbonogony, should you choose to accept it, is to be active for all 17 games this year, sir.
And I think he's going to do it because I think that he has some new defense. He has some new position coaches, working with him. I thought he looked good in the OTAs and whatnot. I think that, that's the next step for him. That's the first step for him. I think that, the way the roster is going to shape out, I think that he can play special teams. And, whatever happens from there, I mean, you just kind of go from there.
All right, we only got like 7 or 8 minutes left with you, and I want to make sure we get to the rest of this here. Keon Crossan, does he make the team?
Yeah, for sure. He's going to be a core special team. He honestly might take over Mac Hollins' role as like just a core special teams guy on every special teams unit.
Okay. All right. So Kadir Kahu, Quincy Wilson, Elijah Hamilton, all those 3 guys, they're not making the squad.
I don't think any of those guys make the team, but they gave Kadir Kahu, who was like I don't know if he was Texas A&M Commerce, whatever. He went to a really small school, but they gave him a lot of money for an undrafted rookie. And when they give you a lot of money, that means they see something in you. So if there's any guy out of that group who maybe sneaks into that final spot, just based off the following of money, it could be Kadir Kahu.
All right, real quick. Nick Needham, Trill Williams, Elijah Campbell, and D'Angelo Ross. Nick Needham's making this team.
Needham is a slot cornerback.
Nick Needham on any other team would be a starting quarterback. On any other team would be a starting quarterback.
I don't know about any other team, but he's a very solid cornerback.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
He's gonna be the slot cornerback. Trill Williams, I think he sneaks into that final cornerback spot. I think they like him. I think he had some injuries, but I think they like him. I think he gets one of the final spots.
All right, so
I got 6 of those cornerbacks making the 6 of those guys making 53.
All right, so we had 15 slots after the linebackers, right?
I believe so.
Okay, you ready? Let's go through it. Let's place all 15. Xavier makes the team. That's 1. Brandon Jones makes the team. That's 2. Javon Holland makes the team. That's 3. Byron Jones makes the team. That's 4. Nick Needham, 5. Eric Rowe, 6. Sheldrick Redwine, 7. Keon Crossan, 8. Noah Iggy, 9.
Yeah, Clayton
Fedulum, 10.
And who else?
Trill Williams, 11.
Yes.
Verone McKinley, 12.
Well, I don't know about Verone. We gotta knock somebody off then, because I think
Did we have 15 or was it 10? It was 10 slots we had left, right? It was 10. Wasn't 15. It was 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So Verone McKinley was
because you gave a Guava in the spot as well. So I
correct. Yeah. So all right. So we had 10 slots available. So Verone McKinley is not going to make the squad, and so we need to get rid of one more person: Trill Williams or Clayton Fedulum.
See, that's the thing, man. You gave Guava that extra spot, and now we skimping the DBs. So I guess.
So all right. So then the question is: Clayton Fedulum, Trill Williams, or Sammy Guavon?
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Who makes that very last spot? And by the way, I think McKinley's going to be in that too.
He's going to be in the mix. He's going
to be in the mix.
But again, I mean, so this is really what happens. You get to these 3 final spots. You get to
one final spot, and there's 4 guys.
Exactly, and you're like, well, none of these guys are going to be starters. who can play special teams.
All right. Well, all right. Let's get something straight. Igbonogony can play special teams, right?
Yep.
All right. Trill Williams can play special teams. Clayton Fedulum definitely can. I say Igbonogony and Fedulum are two better at special teams than Trill and McKinley will be. Actually, I don't know what McKinley will be on special teams, but I assume he's. I mean, I've seen what Clayton Fedulum and Sammy Igbonogony have done on special teams, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Clayton
So
Fedulum played 85% of the special team snaps last year.
Okay. All right. So then we're basically saying it's coming down to Clayton Fedulum and Sammy Igbonogony for the very last defensive roster spot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And you think it's going to be Fedulum.
Especially because you have to look also at the positions and who's above them. Riley's going to play a lot of special teams. Tyndall's probably going to play a decent amount of special teams as well.
But you think Brandon Scarlett makes the team, right?
I think Brandon Scarlett makes his team as like a rotational outside linebacker / defensive end.
I have a very difficult. So look, I'm biased. I have the man's jersey in my closet. I want Igbonogony. I just have a very difficult time getting rid of him.
They re-signed these guys for a reason. I mean, they're running it back on defense, so I think he's going to make the team. It's not a big deal, but
I'm telling you, McKinley can be that dark horse if because we saw how he was at Oregon when Javon was there, like he was legit. So
yeah, but again, I mean, he's an undrafted rookie. He's not playing.
I get you. I understand.
3 guys that he's legitimately not going to play over.
So according to you, you have Channing Tindall as the only rookie on the defensive side making the roster.
That is correct.
And I think that McKinley has an outside shot to get in. I think he's one of those last bubble players.
That's fair. I have no argument with
that. Okay. Real quick, Thomas Morstead obviously makes the team. Blake Ferguson and Jason Sanders, which rounds out your 53-man roster.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
All right. So the bubble players that we came up with over the last 2 times were Fedulum, Sammy Igbonogony, Zaquandre White on the offensive side. I thought we said was a bubble player, maybe and Gaskin. You know what will happen with them?
Ahmed as well.
Yep, Salvon Ahmed. And then the question is, out of 4 positions on offense, or out of 2. It's going to come down to 4 guys. It'll come down to Trent Sherfield, Lynn Bowden, Preston Williams, and River Craycraft. And the question is, who 2 of those guys will make it, 2 of those guys won't. So there's going to be some really good camp battles, man.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch.
On the offense and defensive side. Let me ask you, Jason Sanders, real quick, had a down year this past year.
Yeah.
Compared to what he had the first year. Do they bring in somebody else? Have they talked about bringing in another leg to compete with them?
They got too much money.
I agree.
I think that they kind of look at – I mean, they haven't really given us a legitimate explanation for what happened with him. I think that there's a lot of fan conspiracies about the holding situation. I don't know how much truth there is to that. Obviously, I don't think that the team hasn't and they wouldn't throw Pilardi under the bus. But I don't know. If you kind of look at Jason Sanders' track record, I mean, he's followed up kind of down years with strong years. So if you kind of follow that path, he's kind of shaping up to have a really strong year. I think, again, if he hits a couple more of those 50-yarders, 50-yard field goals are tough, but if he hits maybe 2 or 3 more of those, he's back on that Pro Bowl All-Pro trajectory.
Definitely. All right, man. Look, I know you got to get out of here, so just want to say thank you for doing these last 2 shows with me, the offensive side and the defensive side. If you missed any part of it, the last show we went over the entire offensive roster and broke it down on the 25 guys there. We had 25. We think 25 is going to make it from offense and 25 is going to make it on defense. And then obviously Morstead, Blake Ferguson, and Sanders will be the 3 additional. And there's probably 10 guys, 11 guys for 5 spots that we think are going to be that bubble, that we'll be looking at all 3 games in preseason, which will be fun to watch. So next week when I talk, will be 1 week left to training camp. And I guess we'll kind of talk about, maybe we'll get into more, serious projections of the bubble. Let's talk about bubble players more in depth. I think that would be fun to talk about a week into training camp, exciting training camp battles that we're going to look forward to. And we'll talk about pros and cons with those. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds good to me, man.
All right, man. Tell the people where they can find you. I know a new Dolphins in Depth podcast just got released. I don't know if it was last night or the night before, but I saw it pop up on because I have an alert when it gets dropped.
I appreciate that. So best way to follow me for all your Dolphins updates is on social media at Daniel Oyefusi, just like you see below. Miami Herald, MiamiHerald.com for all the writing content. If you're just interested in sports, we have like a sports only a la carte pass. So head to MiamiHerald.com and you can check that out. And then every Wednesday morning we have the Dolphins in Depth podcast that goes up. We just wrapped up the AFC East previews with the Patriots. So I had appreciate that. So we had a NBC Sports Boston reporter come on. He had a lot of really good insight into the Patriots, and I thought it was very fair. I know a lot of times people give me flack for getting some people that carry water for the opposing team, but I thought he was very, very fair. Got some nuanced insight, so definitely check that out. Wherever you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, you can even check it out on the Miami Herald
or Android podcast. Don't forget about Android.
What I say Apple, Android. What I say Apple, Android.
Look, Team Android all day. We're not about that crapple life.
Hey man, iPhone everything. So.
Look, Daniel, I love having you on. You're the best. Thank you for coming on, and we'll see you next week, and we'll see you all throughout training camp, man. It'll be fun.
Most definitely, man. You take care.
All right, man. Have a good one, Daniel.
See you.
Daniel Oyefusi of the Miami Herald, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. That's let me take this off the screen. He's the best in the business as far as I'm concerned. He is the best in the business. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. I'm talking about clock blockers. I'm your host, Stephen D. I hope you all are enjoying the show today. A couple things that I think were really important to me of what we talked about. I think there are people that in the last two shows that I've had with Daniel, today's and the one before, I want to see, there's going to be some players that have been a part of this squad for the last couple of years that are not going to make the team. There's going to be some people that have had some big moments with the squad the last couple of years that are going to not make this team, or going to be big-time bubble people. And so it'll be very interesting to see the direction where this franchise is headed with some of these new guys, right? It's funny, there's looking on offense, there's two. It's funny. There, out of the entire 53 man, there might be only 2 rookies that make the team. That's it. Only 2 rookies that make the entire team. Now we had 4 draft picks, right? But to see that, hey man, this squad it's legit. That only 2 rookies are going to make the team. It's going to be good. I think that there's going to be. I don't know who the new Kirk Merritt's going to be. I see people in here talking about Kirk Merritt because I was a big Kirk Merritt fan. I love Kirk Merritt. But I love to see where this team is headed, and I'm excited to see the depth that it has because going over the rosters in depth, last episode and this episode for Miami Herald, take Tuesday and Thursday, it's been a lot of fun because we've seen where the weaknesses are in this roster, right? And we also see, because there's some positions we're like, oh, that guy's going to make the team. There's no doubt. And then there's some people that I was a little bit more confident about. And he's like, I don't know. There's way too much depth on this team. And that's a good thing to have because I don't know the last time I felt this confident about a majority of the roster. A majority of this roster, I'm like, yes. I think there's going to be 2 guys that get cut this offseason or this preseason where I'm going to be like, what did the Dolphins do that they got rid of him? What were they thinking? And I'm sure I'll feel that way if they get rid of Sammy Guevara. I'm positive I'll feel that way about it. Now, they know what they're doing. They know better than me, but Kirk Merritt will definitely make the team, Steven. I said he was legit. I said the guy had it. You're right. You're 100% right. You were a Kirk Merritt fan. I was the president of the Kirk Merritt fan club. But, we all saw what, Sammy Guevon did throughout. Like, it's very difficult for me to see, but you make the point, right? Like, Clayton Fedulum and Trill Williams, those guys are bosses. And Verone McKinley, I'm not the kid's good. So Verone's going to be my new Kirk Merritt. How about that? I like what Rashad said. Verone is my Kirk. Verone is my new Kirk Merritt. I'm going to root for Verone a lot this preseason. I will be watching in the fourth quarters what Verone McKinley is doing, because that's going to be where he's going to make this team, yes or no, right? And same thing with Clayton Fedulum and Trill Williams and Keon Crossan, for that matter, right? So there's going to be a lot of, where's Preston Williams? We talked about it in the prior show. There's 2 back-end wide receiver positions, right? And so they go down to 4 guys, and it's going to come down to Trent Sherfield, who was the very first person that McDaniel brought in, and he brought him in from San Fran. So it's kind of tough to say he's not going to make the team when he was the very first free agent that was brought in through the door, right? He must like something about him if he brought him over. And then you got Lynn Bowden, who, when healthy, great wide receiver. Then you have Preston Williams that, when healthy, good wide receiver. I'm not going to put great, but good wide receiver. And then you have River Craycraft, who also is another guy that was that McDaniel likes. So there's 4 guys for 2 back-end wide receiver positions. So that'll be interesting to see during preseason. Another thing will be to see is how the tight end positions work out, right? Gesicki, Durham Smythe. And then you got Adam Shaheen, Hunter Long, Cethan Carter. And Cethan Carter, again, is somebody who was pretty big on special teams, but that was tough to kind of put him through the ringer of, I think, it's going to be 3 or 4 tight ends. And I see Shaheen not making the squad. And it's tough. Again, they got a high draft pick in Hunter Long. You're going to release him over Cethan Carter? That's probably not going to happen. So Hunter Long, Durham Smythe, and Gesicki are going to be your 3 tight ends. That's something. And then you go to the running back position. You got Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Sony Michel. Then you have Myles Gaskin, Zaquandre White, Salvin Ahmed, and Jared Dokes. All those are quality running backs, but you got to say Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, and Sony Michel probably making the squad. And then Gaskin and Zaquandre will fight for a 4th spot, if there is a 4th spot, because you also have to realize Alec Ingold playing fullback is going to take the place of what would be. And that's the other thing, too. Alec Ingold can also play from the tight end set, too. So there's going to be Myles Gaskin, Zaquandre Wright, Salvin Ahmed, Cethan Carter, Adam Shaheen. They may not be on the roster because of people like Alec Ingold. He throws a wrench into that tight end room and that running back room. Miami made amazing moves this offseason, and you have to understand that there are going to be roster positions that are affected by the people that they brought in, people that have been on this team, people that have made impacts on this team. Okay? So I'm not questioning it. I'm just telling you what the reality of the situation is going to be. I think that the end of this 53-man will be a little bit different than what you're used to seeing. And I think that it'll be very interesting to see. And I think there'll be 1 to 3 rookies making the squad. I predict 1, possible 2. Where all my Spades players at? 1 possible. I got a 1 possible 1. Got a 1 and a possible. So that's 2. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Verone McKinley, I'm excited to watch. Channing Tindall is probably the only rookie that I see really making this team. Cameron Good's got an outside shot. Verone McKinley's got an outside shot. Oh, you know what? I forgot Eric Eazy-E. So you know what? 2. I'm wrong. 2 rookies make this team. Eric Eazy-E and Channing Tindall. Eric Eazy-E and Channing Tindall are the 2 rookies that make the team. So I had a 2 possible 1. There we go. I stand corrected. But I want to know what you think. Out of all the things that, for those of you who watched the last Miami Herald show as well as this one, what are your thoughts of the 53 man? Who are some bubble people that you think will make the team? I want to hear from you right now. So go ahead, and I'm going to put the link in the chat. I'd love for you to come on. It'll be very interesting to see. Is there any undrafted rookies or rookies that you see making this team that I don't see? Is there anything that we talked about that you totally disagree with from a standpoint? Did you guys like my hot take? Javon Holland this year, 5+ interceptions, 5+ sacks. Only 3 people. He would be if he does it, he'll be the third person to do it since 2013 in all the NFL. So it'll be very interesting to see. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know where you stand. All right. All right. Let me bring on first guest of the day. We'll bring on my man, David. What's up, David? Good morning.
Yo. What's going on? I actually agree with you. I think you're right on.
With what? Be specific, man.
The 53-man roster. I think you guys are right on. I don't see anything different. I agree with what you said. Absolutely.
I think that when you're looking at the 53 man, there's probably 3 or 4 out of the 53 that I'm not 100% comfortable with because there's so much depth there, right? Yep. I think the end of that 53 man will be very interesting to see as we move forward. And here's the outside thing that I haven't even brought up. There's people that could be released on other teams that will have an opportunity to make.
You just read my mind. I was thinking the same thing as now. Absolutely.
We're sitting here talking about, this guy's a bubble guy. This guy's what happens if a veteran on the offensive line gets released?
At center.
Does that push another? Does that push another guy that we previously thought on the offensive line to make it? Or does that say? Or do they say, you know what? We want to keep him too. Maybe instead of 5, secondary people. Or 6 secondary people, maybe they go with 4. I don't know, right?
I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of things that could happen.
Yeah, it'll be. Scotty says our starting center is still on another team. I don't disagree with that. I disagree with that. I think Connor Williams will be our starting center this year, and I have absolutely no quarrel with it. I think it'll be. I think y'all will love. My hope is right. My hope is that. He's a guard. He had a history of penalties. Most of them were offsides. I personally think that you get rid of that by putting him at center, and he's played center before, so he has a history there. It won't be foreign to him. But now he'll be the every. I think. And again, I'm not questioning Matt Applebaum. I'm not questioning Matt Applebaum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not going to do it. Okay, all right. Let me bring in my man Rashad. Rashad, what's up, brother?
What's going on?
Morning, fellas.
All right. Did you get a chance to listen to me and Daniel Oyefusi this morning?
Yeah, I caught like the last 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, so at the end of this roster, is there somebody on the end of this roster that you think, has a chance to make this roster? Was there anything you agreed or disagreed with wholeheartedly?
I mean, I agree with most of it. I think we give some of our younger player or the players that didn't get too many chances. I see them getting a roster spot over. Yeah, and those
I think they're going to get a
veterans-
lot of playing time this preseason, right?
This preseason, right? Yep.
You look at guys like, so who are guys that are going to get a lot of snaps in preseason? Cameron Good,
I see.
Linebacker's going to get a lot of snaps, right?
Williams.
Sammy Guevon's going to get a lot of snaps this preseason. Calvin Munson's going to get a lot of snaps this preseason. Verone McKinley, Clayton Fedulum, Trell Williams, Keon Crossan, Sheldrick Redwine. Those guys will get a lot of snaps. Benito Jones will get a lot of snaps. Who else is going to get a lot of snaps this preseason?
We got that
Noah Igbonogony will get a lot of snaps. To go back to the Noah Igbonogony deal. If all this talent is on the roster, right, and we agree, And we also agree that it would not, to have a first round draft pick get cut after 2 years would be atrocious. But I will say this: if he doesn't cut the mustard or whatever adjective or whatever saying you want to say to it, if he's not up to par, if he's not playing at the level we need him to play at, is it too out of the question to think that McDaniel and Greer get in a room together and say, you know what, he's just not, like, it's not worth it. Let's just cut our losses and is there a reality in this world where Noah Igbonogony gets cut this offseason? I would like to know what you guys think.
I think it's hard. I think it's more likely to be traded, but
what do you guys?
I don't know.
You can't cut him. The reason you can't cut him is because there's this feeling in the back of their minds, I feel, that if we cut him, we know who drafted him. And if he winds up in Pittsburgh and makes something of himself, then there's going to be an even bigger problem. I think it's more of a risk cutting him for Greer and letting him go and blossom somewhere else than just letting him sit on the roster until his time is up.
Let me ask Andrevius. Good morning, brother. How are you, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, man. What do you think about this conundrum that we have with Noah Igbonogany? Because there's so much depth on this roster. Is there a world where you could see Noah getting cut at the end of the preseason?
This world, this universe right here. We don't even have to. Like, I feel like you wanted me to visit the multiverse. No, it's happening right here in real time.
How do you explain that to fans, though? How would fans take that?
We missed out on a pick. It's not the first time. We're not the first team that did it. It's not the end of the world.
But he's a first-round draft pick, and so if you're going to cut somebody after 2 years of a first-round draft pick, so I'm not here to have this full length-out discussion.
Like 50% of the league, like third-rounders or later, like, so what?
Yeah, it is. I don't disagree with that.
These first-rounders don't always work out. It's not the end of the world.
So let me tell you. So I'm just going to be straight up.
True.
Here's another conversation that's going to come out of this, right? And you guys aren't going to like it, but I think it's a reality of the conversation. If you're willing to cut Noah Igbonogany after 2 years, why would so you know it's going to come out? You know what I'm about to say, because people are going to say it. By the way, I just want to state for the record before I get killed, Tua's going to have a huge year, but they're going to be like, if Tua's not cutting it, why not cut Tua after 2 years? You know that's what they're going to say, right?
Because Tua can get on the field.
That's what I think, but I'm telling you that will
again.
I'm
gonna say it again. I have been underwhelmed by Tua's production, but average is worse than literally zero production.
Correct.
Tua's been average,
which is what Noah's given us. Zero production.
Absolutely trash. It's just I don't argue with people about that. He's been average. He's been mediocre at best. He's been underwhelming, but that production is way better than Noah Igbonogany. It's not a comparison. Like I hate when y'all do these comparisons. It's thoughtless. It takes no thought to make these stupid arguments. If that's where people are going to go, it's it's a thoughtless thing to do. Like I'm trying not to curse. MF who can't get on the field,
who didn't dress for 3 or 4 games last year. It was crazy.
The fact
and so that's where I'm at, right? So I'm glad you said
got 5 DBs on the field and he can't find himself on the field.
And he can't find it. And it's funny because I'm sitting here with Daniel and we're discussing, do we keep 5 or do we keep 6? Well, we don't have to worry about keeping it that extra player that we think's a bubble player if Noah's not even dressing on Sundays as a first-round draft pick, right?
He better be the number 4 corner. Put it that way.
Why does
why
that's
number
what I'm
4?
talking about, Rashad. And I'm just playing devil's advocate here with you, Rashad. That's what I'm talking about from the fan. He has to be the number 4 because he was a first. He's not cutting it. So we talk all the time. We talk all the time, Rashad, about how we kept Ryan Tannehill on the roster 4 years too long. And so that's where I go, you know what? But then I'll get criticized because then I'll be like, but you're not saying that for Tua. But I'm like, Tua's shown progression. He's been on the field. He's shown glimpses of productivity. I'm just telling you what, like,
y'all think we
sides.
kept Tannehill 4 years too long?
3 years too long.
I don't.
I feel like Tannehill was really productive for us before he messed up his knee.
There's a portion
before he got hurt.
But the number one thing the fan base said, and I'm not trying to have the Tua talk this morning because I want to talk about individual positions. But I think it's necessary for the conversation that we're having to say, hey, look, we're all trying to say Tua deserves another year. Give Tua one more year, let him prove what he's got. But then everybody, the number one thing that I get back from people that are Tua haters, I'm sorry that I'm calling some of y'all Tua haters.
Dislikers.
Is well, we left Tannehill in for too long and we saw what happened with that, and we don't want Tannehill to happen 2.0 to happen all over again.
You're right about that.
That's what I'm saying, Andre V's. That's the argument that people give back to me.
I think if Tannehill never tore up his ACL, he might literally still be here.
There's a big possibility that's true. Yeah, because he was having.
I truly believe.
I don't know.
He was having when we went to the playoffs. He was killing it. I think that was year one with Adam.
We started 0-3 that year, and I was like, I hate this bum Tannehill. And then we found ourselves looking magnificent after that fourth game. We went on a little win streak. He was having the season of his life, and then he bust up his knee. And it was murder she wrote after that. But
we thought the next year was our year.
Hey, I think we got our guy. I think we finally got our guy. And I feel like the whole fan base thought that.
So to go back to the original question, and I got a couple of people in the back room. I'm going to bring them on here in a minute because I think this is a very productive conversation. Is it okay to drop a first-round pick after 2 years of whatever this is?
I mean, yeah, but I don't see it.
I don't want to say it's okay if they can find a spot in the rotation. He's not even in our rotation. Like,
you got to be number 4.
To say you can't start over Xavier Howard and Byron Jones is one thing. For him to not be able to get on the field is a completely other issue. Like, he can't even find himself on the field.
That's my thing. Like, who's our number 4 corner right now? It's not Trill Williams because they got him listed as free safety. So who's number 4?
On the corner side, we got Xavier Howard, Noah Igbonogony, Nick Needham, Trill Williams. I mean, those Byron Jones, Keon Crossan. So Keon Crossan's probably our number 4 corner.
And that's my problem right there. If Noah can't outplay Keon Crossan, I'm not even gonna call him a journeyman corner. He's a roster spot. He's an add-on. If you can't get on over him, there's a problem. I mean, it's just
true
ball awareness. Like his coverage is good, but his ball awareness is non-existent at all. But like I've never seen somebody there right on top of a receiver while they catch it, but it's like he doesn't even know they have the ball because he never makes the tackle. He makes some tackles.
Vonjo says, stop it. The number 4 corner is exactly where he needs to be. He's a boundary corner. He's not starting over Jones or Howard and Needham and is the starting slot corner. You're saying, Vonjo, are you saying that about Noah?
I think he's saying Noah's a boundary corner. But what I'm saying, Vonjo, is our corners travel. I feel like if there's 4 receivers on the field, one of the good ones will be in the slot. You let Noah take that boundary and let Byron pick up that next good receiver that's in the slot. I'm not saying put him in the slot because I don't see them hips turning like Needham's. Leave him on the boundary. He looks good on the boundary. He just can't find the ball. He needs to get his eyes checked out or something.
So, okay. All right. So let's just play this out. Noah doesn't make the team. Okay. Which according to this panel here, is not an outside or off the wall thing that could happen, right? It's a legit possibility. What does he need to do this preseason to stay? Does he need to have, does he need to have so Michael Rashad? So look, I think Sammy Guevon made the team last year because of that Cincinnati preseason game where he had like 4 sacks or 5 sacks or something ridiculous. Does Noah have to have some crazy preseason game to make the team? Does he have to step up in a preseason game to make the team?
I think he makes the team, period. But to get playing time, it might only take 1 interception.
Well, my question to you is, if we're playing out the scenario where he's a bubble person, what do we need to see this preseason? Andrevius, what are your thoughts about, like, what do you need to see from Noah this preseason?
He needed to go out and compete with these speedy receivers in training camp. I don't really care about preseason games.
Oh, that's not happening
because he's playing bums, right? So, the real answer is those 2 inter squad practices. Those 2 inter squad practices that we have. If he looks good in those inter squad practices.
Listen, I remember that's where Xavier Howard made his name in training camp. He was shutting down Devontae Parker. He was shutting down. I forgot who he was playing. Who we scripted that year, but he was shutting everybody down. We was hearing about it. Then he went out in the season and produced exactly the way he was producing in training camp. He ain't do nothing in the preseason.
I remember
people trying to get in on the bubble, and
I remember when X first broke out that 4 interception season where he was smothering Brendan Cooks. Oh my God. Brendan Cooks was gone upfield, and you just see X come over his shoulder.
Noah's not even close to X. So he's not even going to be close to that.
I like what Cruz asked here. He says, "Ask Miami Sports Music panel. There is a clock on all rookies. If we all agree, does it expire based on playing position and draft capital used to get player?" Question 1. And the second question is, what is the clock max? I think that's such a great question, Cruz. What do we use to determine if a player's gonna cut it or not? And so we bring up the Tua situation and we bring up the Noah situation. And I think that is where you get your question answered, Cruz. I think Noah there's 3 things that really base it. Noah hasn't seen the field, he hasn't dressed, and he plays a position in which the team has very much depth and really, really great players in front of him, right? And then you go to the quarterback position, and you look at somebody like Tua, and you say, well, Tua's the best quarterback we have on the roster. He's shown improvement. He's played, with the exception of injuries, is able to play and play at a high level and produce. So I think I think to your question, playing position, the position in which you play matters. I think draft capital should. I don't know. Like that's the whole reason we're having the conversation about Noah. If Noah was a 3rd round pick, I think he would have been gone. I don't think he would have been on we would have released him last year.
That's some
right.
Yeah.
So I think that plays a part into it. And then as far as the clock max is concerned, I don't think it's fair to say, hey, look, every person that's like, no matter what your position is, you get 3 years. I think if you're a quarterback, you deserve an opportunity to showcase your talent in 2 to 3 years, depending on the situation. I think if you're somebody like Noah Igbonogony, you got to look at what it is. I think he's had a fair amount of ample opportunity to show himself, and he keeps coming up short. And I don't think it has anything to do with the depth that's in front of him, because I don't know if we would see how bad he is if he was playing and we didn't. You know what I'm saying? The holes would still be there. Do you guys agree? Disagree?
Yeah,
I agree.
Let me bring on 2 people here. I got my man Cap for Life and Von Joe. What's up, gentlemen?
Yo, what's good? What's good, my peoples?
What's up, man? What? I liked your thought there. I want to hear your thoughts, Fonjo. Go ahead and talk to us while you're playing
All
and
right,
banging.
real quick. So Noah, I'm agree with Rashad. He has to be our fourth corner behind Needham, right? So he needs to be that guy that subs in if Byron goes down. That's why I call him fourth corner,
Yeah, but
right?
Andrevius thinks that he's gonna get released.
No, the thing is, if you look at the thing, I don't think he's gonna get released. I think that our two cornerback coaches could fix his ball skills because Noah has the ability to mirror receivers.
Yeah,
He
like
we
it's
see,
crazy.
and the thing is, we've seen it in training camp. That ball that people said Noah got caught on, where Tyreek beat him. If you take a look at that video, actually, he could have intercepted that ball easily because the ball was slightly behind, and Tyreek reached back for it, and Noah was right there. But again, for some reason, he has a Madden glitch. I like to call it a Madden glitch when the ball like kind of goes through the player
All right,
and
so
gets caught. So he mirrors. He'll be in position. He can mirror the fastest of receivers because he has the athletic ability. He got fluid hips enough to mirror him and recover. And he has the speed to recover, but he just for some reason the ball's in the air and he glitches.
all right, Andrevius, level 2 noob said Noah's not even 23 yet. How do you what do you respond when somebody says he's still a baby? He's still
That's another good point.
He should have stayed in college another year.
And isn't this like his third year really playing corner?
Fourth.
Yeah, this is his third year.
Fourth.
This is about to be his fourth.
He played
his
2
fourth
in
year.
college, 2 in the pros.
All right, so
What did he
come on,
start
man.
out in college? Do we know?
Wide
Wide
receiver.
receiver.
So is it
I get all the arguments y'all saying, but I just don't think this is a very forgiving league, and they don't care why you're not producing. It's just that you're not producing.
And
So here's
There
the
are
thing.
that's
valid
where I
reasons.
agree with Andrevius. I'm like
There
he
are
hasn't.
valid reasons. They don't care though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I
Andrevius,
have to
this
agree
is
with
where
Andrevius there.
Andrevius, this is where I'll give a little pushback, right? Where we easily say other parts of the team was unforgiving because, and we actually forgive other parts of the team because of Flores, right? So we could have easily said it was a coaching decision or it was a mismanagement of Noah that he didn't play. He was a
We
bad
could.
coaching decision.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
We
And not
could.
really maximizing on his talent because at least the kid should have been on special teams at least.
I think if there's a way to fix his just put a helmet on him for 4 months and let him live life, sleep, eat, shower with a helmet, and maybe he'll learn to get his head around or something. Like
Because
his
the
awareness on Madden is
Scotty
like a
said he was a
23.
luxury pick and turned out to be just that. He's super young and still developing.
Yeah, the fact that he's young
but
is.
I get that. But to Andre, I'm gonna put it out there for Andrevius. It's what
Steven,
have you done
put me
for
on
me
mute.
lately? It's what have you done for me lately? And if he hasn't produced, then why are we having the conversation of what bothers me more is another player that's on a bubble that is, let's say, a dual threat in special teams and at the end of a position of a depth chart at a defensive position or an offense for that matter, right? We know what Noah isn't. And we also know that he's not even good enough to play on special. He hadn't even dressed to be a prominent special teams player. It's not like they said, hey, bro, you're a first-round pick. Go ahead and play special teams. You're so good. Clayton Fendulum is better than him on special teams. That's got to.
You just took the words out of my mouth.
Something.
I hate that guy.
You took the words out of my mouth.
That might
3
be the
years,
only
bro.
Dolphin that I dislike. Like I hate him.
All right, let me bring in my man Q and my man Irving. What's up, gentlemen?
What's going on, fellas?
Yo.
Let me get y'all's thoughts on this. What do y'all think about?
Can I say something about Noah? I feel as though
that's what we're talking about. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, you see Nick Needham. Nick Needham was trash when he first got on the field. with reps.
He was.
Playing cornerback, because I play cornerback. It's about reps. You got to keep getting reps to get better, get your confidence up.
But you know what you have to do to get reps, Q? You have to earn those reps.
But also,
and Needham did.
But this people, you said this before. The 3 people ahead of him are better than him.
Correct.
When is he going to get on the field? Even though I'm gonna say this.
Q. I'm just gonna pause you because that's a fair point. But he has a chance to get on special teams in other way, or to get on the field in other ways, and he's still not doing it.
When do we get to?
Xavier Howard and Byron Jones don't play every single down on defense. He has his.
But sometimes I say this: he doesn't play every single down, but when he's out there, he does mirror very good. That's what his. Noah does mirror very good.
Noah's had. I don't think you can say that.
It's plenty of times Noah was on the field and nothing happened. When you play cornerback, nothing happens. You did your job. It's plenty of times Noah was on the field. It was an incomplete pass. They didn't find the open receiver, and you know it's true. It's only when he make a mistake. Everybody want to point out his mistakes.
When do we get to a point where you have to outwork and work hard to get on the field? He hasn't done it.
You don't know how hard the young man's working. And to me, he's working hard.
For not getting reps.
No, he works. He puts in work.
He works.
No,
he puts in work.
He didn't outwork.
He was stuck to Xavier Howard's hip last season. Last season, he was doing videos with X, all that training, all that hype, all those snaps. For what?
But for what?
As a number one pick, you have to outwork everybody.
Hold on, one at a time.
Let me ask one question.
Hold on 1 second, Bonjo. Give me 1 second, Bonjo.
Go ahead.
Bonjo, give me 1 second. Last year, Noah dressed 7 times. There were 17 games, which means 10 games he didn't dress. I said 3. He didn't dress 7 times last year, or 10 times last year. And out of that,
you said 3. I was like,
he only had 6. Was it 6 tackles? No, I don't see any pass defended. I don't see any assists, no sacks, no safeties, nothing. 6 tackles. And I would almost be willing to bet, and I'm not sure, that maybe a few of those tackles might have come on special teams, maybe?
Yes. Yeah, they probably came on kick return.
So, again, what are we talking about here? A first-round pick who's done absolutely nothing last year and was fully healthy?
I'm talking about a mismanagement of talent. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's what I truly see as a mismanagement of talent. Because at the end of the day, how many plays you can show me Noah just getting burnt?
Thank you. Thank you.
You said Noah did what?
When he gets
getting burnt. Show me plays where he just literally gets burnt.
There's only one play where he just muffed the play. It was versus Seattle. He left the wide receiver wide open. Every other play.
Who was the receiver?
It wasn't. No, he got killed by DK. But it was some bum
receiver.
No. The play that I'm talking about, he had his eyes in the backfield and he just let the receiver run up the field.
He was playing zone when he's supposed to be playing.
He
made him.
I guess. But every other play he's right there. Yeah, every other play
everybody bring in the Buffalo game where he got cooked. But at the same time, when you took a look at it, that's a top 5 receiver, we could easily say.
He had Diggs,
Diggs, exactly, a top 5 receiver.
Level 2 Noob says only one player on this team gets bathed in excuses. You know how many cornerbacks aren't starting on this team? Nobody's saying that no one needs to start. What I'm saying is no one needs to show me that he's worth a 53-man roster spot. And if I'm basing it on last year, along with the talent that we have this year, let me ask you guys on a real tip. Would you rather see Clayton Fendulum make this team and be an added
No.
We should have kept Bobby McCain.
To me,
I regret getting rid of Bobby McCain
2 years ago, man. He should have got.
Okay, we got Fedulum. What Fedulum plays? Safety?
He's a big special teams guy. He's a big special teams.
He's a big bum.
But Fedulum accounts for more of what
No,
happens
Noah can play second
on the
team.
field
He
than Noah.
can play second. He can play special teams.
But
Again,
he hasn't, Monjo.
Because it's a mismanagement of talent. That's what I'm telling you.
But also you gotta look at it like this. As a coach, you want the more experienced player. That's what people not looking at.
There's no
people
excuse that Noah
who were playing, they're more experienced at the position they were playing. Flagellum was a more experienced special team player.
Yep, that's true.
But don't you guys think that? Don't you guys think that you have to outwork Fedulum? If he can't outwork Fedulum and be better than Fedulum, what are we talking about?
I think Fedulum was
there's
gifted
talent
his
there to
spot,
mismanage.
honestly.
I don't know if there's
You let me up, Steven? What's going on, everybody?
It wasn't that I wasn't letting you up. I was just trying to get through that first conversation and trying to
What's
find
up,
the time
Pete?
to bring
What's
you
going
up.
on?
No, I know. You probably hear the back noise. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have much time. I'm on the road, and I just wanted to come up. Shout out to everybody up here. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Steve and everything. But you know what? Why are so many fans scared to say what it is? Like, come on. Greer screwed us with the Noah Igbonogany pick. We could have had Jonathan Taylor right now or DeAndre Swift running wild. Y'all stop with he mirrors, he does this, he does. I don't want to hear anything. This guy does not get in nickel packages. He does not get on the field on dime packages, even on dollar and quarters. He does not see the field. It's a bust of a pick. Noah Igbonogany is a bust, and I'm tired of you guys are feather boys. It's always let's be positive, let's be nice. This is what nice gets Pete. I don't want to hear this BS takes. Noah Igbonogany is a bust. The guy can't even get in on any play like Steven is saying. Stop it.
I always have to adjust my volume.
When Pete gets on. But let me tell you, Pete is actually
it's
right.
okay to talk on your inside voice, Pete.
And let me tell you,
Pete, you gotta stop screaming. Your mic is a lot louder.
Pete, you're
hey, hold on, because now
calm down.
Inside voice.
Hey,
and by the way, let me just tell y'all.
I'm trying to catch my breath.
Let me tell y'all right now, it needed to be said. It needed to be said.
It needed to be, man. Listen.
Nobody said Pete was wrong.
And there was a point I heard one of you guys say, Noah Igbonogany has a tough battle against Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. Fair point. You got to give it to that. Yeah, at this point, you got to expect him to be elite to even get on the boundary. That's a fair point. But to that point, you know I have to swing it like a kid in the park to Tua. I have to, because Tua has been giving it for free. He has been getting it for free. He's only had to pass up a journeyman at Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he didn't look better than that.
Pete,
that's the issue. Okay, if we can't keep it defense, I could turn it to any given second. Have a blessed day, guys. I'll be right back, Steven. I'm just on the road. Thank you for having me up.
I love you, Pete.
All right, Pete.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pete was actually Pete was right. Let's just say
I literally just got a headache that quick.
I haven't agreed with him.
Andrevius, have you ever shook your head in agreement with Pete more than we just did?
Anytime we talk about Mike Gesicki,
I mean, nobody said
I agree with you.
Nobody said that Drew didn't mess that pick up. I think we all know that.
Evaluation. I give you credit for that.
It was a mismanage of the pick also. We'll give him that all day.
Vaughn, I think you have a good point, though. I really do. You have a good point.
Now that he's on the team, we mismanaging that talent. That's what I'm saying.
We could have had.
We can't go back.
I think both of those could be correct. Both of them are right.
We can't go back and say, "Hey, Jonathan Taylor, my bad, man."
Right, exactly. Like we're trying to salvage our pick right now.
I don't know what we're thinking about. Yo, Jonathan Taylor, run that back.
But there's a difference between salvaging a pick and understanding what you currently have on the roster. And for me, let me just say this, okay?
We can't know.
Hold on, Rashad. Hold on.
Okay.
I feel that if somebody like Clayton Findulum is a bubble spot, who, by the way, produces on special teams tremendous.
When he comes in the game, he's terrible.
He's only a bubble spot for you, sir.
Only you say
Daniel and I just went and said that Clayton
Waste of
Fedulum.
Yeah,
space.
he need to go. He need
Waste
to
of
go.
space.
Nah, Fedulum is gonna make the team, bro.
He
Let's
needs to
get
go.
No,
special
he's
teams.
not.
Let's get
I
special
promise
teams.
you, he won't be on the
I
team.
personally, here's what I would
Unless
rather
Verone
have.
McKinley
I
can play some special teams.
I would rather have. Okay, y'all ready? I would rather have an end of the roster position player that dominates on special teams.
He doesn't dominate.
He doesn't dominate.
Than Noah.
I'd rather have the young athletic player than Clayton Fedulum.
I'll see if he was a kick returner or something,
Yeah.
or a kicker or a punter. He's a not even a gunner.
Special teams?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
I'm
in
not
that
saying Clayton
he's in
Fedulum.
that
I'm saying
fullback
anybody
position.
in particular.
He's in
What's
that
going on,
fullback
everybody?
position
But
that
no.
protects the
But
punter.
you saying
We're dealing
you
with
got to
Greer's
keep Fedulum. That's where you want to.
F-ups.
You
We're
right
dealing
there.
with Greer's.
In my upper left.
We're dealing with Greer's F-ups. That's why we're having this argument.
Listen, you can try to run next to Batman. I still see
Yeah,
you, Steven. Stop
you're
running.
right. That's why we're having this
Again,
argument.
what does he do that's so
Hey,
special on special
I'm not
teams?
even gonna blame Greer because I seen what Greer did this offseason. He went.
I'll
He
blame.
helped the head coach.
No. He's the
He
general
helped the
manager.
head.
You gotta blame him for that.
Rashad, hold on,
He's the general
Rashad.
manager.
Rashad, hold up,
Every
Rashad.
general manager makes mistakes.
I'll blame him, but I'm not going to crucify him for it.
I'm not blaming him. Two reasons. I
I
see
love
what
Greer.
Greer
I'm a
did
Greer
this
fan.
offseason for Mike McDaniel. He did exactly what what the head coach wanted, and I seen Flores' reaction when we selected Noah Igbonogany. He was ecstatic.
Of course, that was his guy. That was his guy. Of course.
I'm sure Greer wasn't like, oh yeah, we gotta go get this Noah Igbonogany pick.
So y'all
in the
saying Noah
first round.
was Buffalo?
1,000%. Yes, 1,000%.
To me, all
he was doing it. He was doing it in case X would walk. He did it in case X would walk. That's why he did it.
That's true.
He was trying to get an insurance.
I will tell
pick.
you
That's all
another
that
thing.
was.
For them to go back into the first round and go get him, that's what bothers me the most.
Terrible.
Right? It wasn't.
Yo, Steven, you got to see this, bro.
We passed up on Justin Jefferson. I just want y'all to know that.
We didn't go back in the first round.
Jonathan
We
Taylor.
had that first rounder. It's just
What do I gotta
upgrade.
say? Hold up, guys. Hold up. I can't hear you.
Oh, I got the Batman. I got the Batman one. All right. I got the Batman one. He got the Superman one. All right.
Yeah, he
all
got the
right.
Superman, right? So my man said he tried to keep up. If you got your phone, just go to.
Yeah, look at Von Joe getting a new subscriber.
Yeah, you can listen to it work out. Go to Miami Sports Music.
Steven, you need to pay Vaughn for sales, bro.
Man, shout out to Von Joe, y'all.
That's free marketing right there.
That's great.
You gotta give Von Joe
Von Joe the GOAT.
You gotta make him a
Employee,
co-host.
Shout out to
employee of the month.
You just subscribe.
Steven D, you gotta
Right now, this is a
you
live
gotta
show
make
right
him a
now.
co-host, bro.
So you gotta subscribe.
You need a co-host.
Yeah, so just subscribe to it.
Hey,
Get
point the
notifications
camera.
every morning. Every morning, we're on here, man. Talking about Dolphins, sometimes Miami Heat, and even the Marlins, man. All right, check it out.
Hey, did he subscribe, Von Joe?
Of course. My man subscribe. You see the Superman Dolphin shirt? I said, I gotta put my man's on.
You gonna make me cry, Von Joe. You gonna make me cry right now. I'm all up in my. Look at you. Look
My
at
man
you,
just
man.
subscribed, and he said, yo, he'll check it out in the morning. He trying to keep up with the news.
I love
So I
it.
said, hey, you trying to keep up with Dolphin news in the morning? There you go.
The number one Miami fan morning show. I love it. Let's go.
Man, Steven D's getting emotional right now.
So back to Noah. Because y'all trying to cut my man Noah, and I say this from mismanaged talent. Y'all trying to get this man.
Okay. So Von Joe, that's a fair statement. But if he's not, but whether mismanagement of talent, if he's not producing, why is he still here if he's not producing?
Because of the contract, Steven. He's on a rookie contract on a first round contract, which you could even cut. He has to be here.
Because that's just dead cap. Who has time for just dead cap?
Nah, man, we're not doing that dead cap anymore. We just got an Dominican Sue's money.
Batman, here's what I'll say to you, brother. In this particular situation,
Cap
I'd rather have talent on my roster over dead cap space.
So why don't we trade him for a seventh round?
This is the thing.
Nobody's gonna trade for him.
No,
Steven, this is my thing, though.
Are
Before I
we
make an assessment, you can't cut him. You can't cut him no matter what. My assessment is if you got to see him play, man, and get reps. I mean, I know special teams counts as playing because if you look at he actually got some playing time last year as special teams, but he needs to be on the field. And I want to see a heavy dose of him and Trill Williams in the preseason.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. You know what?
Mostly him guarding the number one receiver on the.
What's going on?
On the opposing team.
I'm on the radio.
Facts. And
That's
listen,
usually what
we all
see.
forget.
And he
We all
got caught.
forget. We all forget. Nick Needham took his lumps, but he stayed there. We're not letting
But
him take his lumps.
Nick Needham developed over time because we saw at the beginning of the year when he first got out there, Nick Needham was barbecue chicken all over the field.
But Noah doesn't have time. That's the problem. You get what I mean? Noah doesn't have time. That's the problem.
He's 23 years old.
No. I'm saying he's not gonna have time for this fan base because he has two guys in front of him. That's the issue.
He's 23 years old, and they're pushing 30. That's the only reason.
I know, but
feel
his
like
contract
he
is
still
up in
has a
2
chance.
years, man. He needs to step up this year. He needs to step up this year.
All right, so here's
years.
what Batman. This is what I want to say to you, Batman. If come week 6, week 7, he hasn't seen the field a lot for whatever reason, don't care what the reason is, I'm gonna come up here and I'll be like, y'all wasted a roster spot on this man. We could have had some depth somewhere else.
Who would you rather keep? Is my
Y'all
question.
wasted a roster spot on this
Steven,
man.
stop, Steven, stop that.
So who's on
who?
It needed to be said.
on Fedulum?
That's your roster spot that we wasted.
I will.
On Jared
I guarantee
Steven,
I guarantee there's at least 2 people that are going to be cut from this team that we're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe they cut him. And then we're going to go into week 7 when Iggy hasn't seen the field but 6 or 7 times to do absolutely nothing, and we're going to be.
Iggy's going to take your boy
I'm telling you,
Sam's
Steven,
spot.
I'm telling you right now, I could run a 4-5 right now at least, and I could play. I could play special teams just like Fedulum. Run down the field and don't do nothing.
I love you, but no the hell you.
That's a 5-5, Vaughn. That's a 5-5, Vaughn.
I could run down the field and do nothing.
Yes, Bonjo can.
Trust me, I could run a 4-5 right now, and get down the field.
I love you, Bonjo, but you are outside your
I can run a 7-5 right now.
Fedulum has no business in the NFL. I'm sorry.
Because Fedulum, he's not hitting nobody.
And you know what pisses
He's
me off
just a
about
guy.
Fedulum? You know what pisses me off about Fedulum? That we all agree on Fedulum not being on this team, but he restructured and the Dolphins accepted, so he might be still on this roster. So that's what's sad. That's a sad part.
Chris says, the Fins tailgate, Chris said, phone Joe, there's no way you're running a 4.5. Phone Joe.
The only way Fedulum makes this team is if we cut Eric Rowe and Myles Gaskins.
Let's make bets on Bonjo running a 4-5.
The only reason we would do that is
let's make bets, even though I don't bet.
Hey, Rashad, as much as I hate to say it, he's gonna make this team, man. He's gonna make this team because he took like a $3 million pay cut to stay on the team, and the Dolphins.
That's his fault. He's
exactly $3 million pay cut.
Alan Hurns did that. Alan Hurns did that and got cut. I'm not.
He did, and so did
surprised.
McKinley last year. The linebacker from Houston.
What up, Concrete?
Concrete.
Listen, I swear, if that's the one guy I do not want to see back on the team, I do not want to see Alan Hurns back in our receiving corps. If we bring him back, I am going to lose my damn mind.
I have no idea why we even signed that guy.
I can't say my word anymore, man. It's a swear jar word, man.
All right, so
Alan Hurns have no business in our receiving corps.
So let me ask you, why am I getting blasted for saying that if there's a guy at the end of the roster that gets cut, and if Noah isn't seeing the field by week 7,
the question is, who are you talking about?
Well, Steven, this is my thing. This is the
who is this guy that we're leaving off the roster?
Steven, this is the pushback.
You want him to be Fedulum. You want the guy to be Fedulum.
Steven, this is the pushback. This is the pushback.
Number one, I have no love fest with Fedulum. I merely used him as an example. It could be Sheltered Redwine. It could be Myles Gaskin. It could be Verone McKinley.
Steven, but this is the pushback. This is the pushback. We are slim in the secondary position as far as backup corner. So you cut him, you got to bring in somebody. So if you want to cut or trade Noah, you got to bring in a Richard Sherman. You got to bring in somebody. Trey Waynes. You got to bring in somebody.
So here's a question for you. Let's say Keon Crossing doesn't make the team, right? Or let's say Trill Williams doesn't make the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is entirely possible. Now, both of those guys, Keon Crossing and Sheldon.
Steven, mute me.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to do 15 things at once here. All right. If Keon Crossing and Trill Williams do not make the team, okay, gentlemen?
Trill's
and let's say in the world where neither of these two guys, or at least one, let's
hypothetically,
just say hypothetically, do not make the squad. And come week 7, Noah's given us exactly what he gave us through 7 weeks last year, which is nothing. Matter of fact, he gave us nothing through 17, but that's neither here or there. Come week 7, I'm going to be all up on this panel being like, y'all wanted Noah. Y'all fans wanted Noah. Noah needed to stay. Noah deserved another year. We could have cut bait and had a very good special teams player. And somebody to add depth.
Steven, look at the dead cap. Look at the dead cap. Look at the dead cap for Noah.
Who cares about the dead cap,
it
bro?
does matter. It does matter. Look at it. It's almost $6 million. It's almost $6 million.
The cap's not real. The cap's not real.
Yes, when it's dead cap. Dead cap is real.
Yes, but if dead cap is real.
I would rather have the talent, somebody contributing to this roster and this team.
Nah, fam, we're not eating 16. We're not eating $6 million.
Okay, all right. Just be prepared. Come week 7 for me getting into y'all's. You know what? Okay.
Pause.
In the great words of ball game, Mr. Ball Game, we won't know what Noah is until he hits the field. Let him take his
like
lumps.
Like McCullers said, dead cap is in cash in Ross's pocket. Thank you. Cap not
yeah,
real,
but it still affects the cap, doesn't it? Doesn't it affect our actual cap?
Batman.
Yeah, it does.
For me,
it does, right?
Because you still got to pay somebody else. So, for example, if you cut,
we have
Noah,
17 mil right now. Oh, that's available off the cap.
Can I finish? So let's say we cut Noah, right? That's a $6 million dead cap hit, right?
Yep.
And let's say we get Richard Sherman, for example, and pay him $6 million. You know, you're really giving Richard Sherman $12 million for that year.
Right. We're paying $12 million for Richard Sherman.
In reality, that's what you're doing.
And what I'm saying, gentlemen, is if Keon Crossing or Trill Williams does not make this roster and they go get picked up somewhere else, we don't have to go out and get a Richard Sherman. We had him here to begin with. So get rid of Noah now and be done with it.
Who's Richard Sherman?
Hold on.
Who are you calling Richard Sherman?
Oh, shit. What's up, my guy? How you doing? How are you?
You just going to put us on pause? You were in the middle of a conversation with me, Bonjo, and now we're too good for you? I hope I mess up your conversation. That's what I hope I do right now. And look, he took his earpiece out of his ear so he couldn't hear me. You suck, Bonjo. God.
Swear jar.
I said suck. I didn't say anything else.
Oh.
Not a swear word. Okay. Concrete. You've been quiet, man. What's up, brother? Get in on this. What do you think about Noah in making the squad and everything?
Man, I don't know, man. I don't. He would have to take a big leap for him to make the squad. So I don't see it happening right now. You know, being that.
So you don't think Noah's gonna make the team?
I have my. I'm not gonna say yes, but I'm gonna lean.
What you want to say, Concrete, is you won't be surprised if he's not on the roster. It won't be a shock to you.
Let's go with that.
It won't be a shock to you.
Yeah.
And to Batman's point again, I could care less about the $6 million dead cap money because of 3 reasons. Number 1, the cap isn't real.
Special teamer.
Just throwing it out there. Number 2, we have cap room right now, so that's good too. And
so the cap is equal with the swear jar.
Number 3, I would rather have somebody who contributes to this 53-man rather than somebody who is absolutely doing crap for us. Providing depth of what? To warm the bench? To make sure the bench is warm? No, thank you. Get on special teams. Wait. You're supposed to be a first-round draft pick.
He did get snapped. He did get snapped last year. He did.
Listen to me, Steven.
Steven, why are you such a hater, bro?
Got you guys outside. I gotta go.
Don't talk to me, Bonjo. You over here.
All right, Concrete.
Let somebody come talk. See, don't talk to me right now, Bonjo. You let somebody interrupt the morning show while you was in the middle of a conversation. What's up, man? How are you, man? I ain't seen you in forever, man. Let me put these people on mute, and then take the earpiece out of your ear because I would,
You're a hater,
whatever.
bro. You're a hater, Steven. At the same time, I still put people on the show, so come on, man. You gotta give and take a little, man. Come on, it's a balance.
I'm just a little upset right now that y'all care about $6 million rather than somebody that produces for the team. That
what
makes
you're
no
saying
sense.
is, so do you
Makes no
remember?
sense to me.
That's a lot of money, Steven. $6 million to just throw away, bro.
I'm putting you on mute. I put you on mute, Vonjo. A lot of background noise. Go ahead. $6 million is a lot of money? Do we not have 17 mil in cap space?
Okay,
we do, Steven, but we're trying to bring in at least 4 more people, and then you got to factor that in.
When you have 17 million in cap space,
so time out. No. Let me address
that's
that, man.
1/3. That's 1/3 of your cap space to nothing.
Okay,
Steven D, do you remember? Do you remember when we had to put
to nothing?
Do you remember when we had to put Fedulum on the field? Do you remember
against
Kansas
City?
I
he don't remember that.
Keep on bringing up Clayton
No,
Pendulum.
he was getting burnt.
Like I'm the president of the Clayton Pendulum.
We probably could have won that Kansas City game. We probably could have won that Kansas City game. It wasn't for Pendulum coming in the game, man.
I'm laughing so hard
was
right
getting
now.
burnt.
You remember the one time he got on the field?
Y'all act like I'm the president of the Clayton Pendulum fan club. Come on now.
What you saying is you prefer a special teamer that might have to come and actually do some work.
Noah hasn't done anything.
Listen.
I would rather him not do anything.
Playing Pendulum is like Jesse Davis.
Then Rashad, I love you. I love you, Rashad. But the fact that you want to race the roster spot for somebody to do nothing is crazy to me. Like that's crazy.
Then somebody to go out there and get torched.
Do you factor ceiling?
Somebody
do you factor
who's
ceiling?
Give up plays?
Just how you factor
anyway.
Hey, Steven, just if we factor Tua's ceiling compared to Baker's, and you rather have Tua than Baker, you got to compare Fedulum's ceiling, which is pretty bad compared to Noah's potential ceiling.
Scotty's wrong.
Scotty is right.
Scotty says I would cut Eric Rowe, Myles Gaskin, and Adam Shaheen for Iggy.
You know why you cut
and right there, Eric Rowe,
how hard is it?
2.5, Gaskin's 2.5, and Shaheen is another about 3. You're saving about $8 million.
You know what?
Right
You know what? Gaskin and Shaheen you can have, but I'm not cutting Eric Rowe. Are you crazy?
I'm cutting Eric Rowe because
that's freaking crazy.
You're slowing down.
El Capitan, please help me.
You got
You're slowing down the potential.
Eric Rowe's on the trade block. Eric Rowe's on the trade block right now.
Not Brandon Jacobs, but Brandon Jones.
Brandon
Jones. Jacobs.
And you just drafted another safety, McKinney.
Veron McKinley the third. Yeah.
Bro, wait. Expandable.
Yeah,
you could.
That's why Eric Rowe cut him. You trade him
right now. Eric
you might be Eric Rowe. You trade. You don't cut.
We've been up to 6 for Eric Rowe. We haven't
accepted for Eric Rowe. You don't get rid of Eric Rowe.
Eric Rowe's on the Eric Rowe right now is on the trade block officially with Myles Gaskin right now.
The reason you get rid of Eric Rowe is you let him take his career elsewhere. He's one of those older people who isn't giving us too much at all.
So why don't we do that?
About 4.5. About 4.5.
Because he's 23. Because he's 23 on a rookie contract.
I can't with y'all right now. I'm so mad at y'all.
That's why.
Eric Rowe.
You know what?
You know what?
You know what? I'm not.
That's
mad.
why you don't cut him.
I'm just disappointed in y'all that y'all feel like that. I'm just disappointed.
Maybe he can play better someplace else.
So
Down here he can't.
I ask you the same question. You wanna judge Tua on potential. But you don't want to judge Noah on potential?
See, there we go.
It wasn't me this time, Vaughn. It wasn't me this time.
You're right, David. It wasn't you. Bro, I told y'all that's when we come back.
I got something for you, Steven.
People were going to bring up, you want to give two. You don't want to give two. You want to give two of this, but not Noah. There's a big difference, y'all, between Noah Igbonogony getting a third year and Tua getting a third year. Explain to me what Noah's earned to get a third year. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Because he's earned the same as the quarterback.
He had some good off-season videos.
Wait, Batman, remember?
Oh my God!
Remember what's the name of that offensive lineman we released to go to the Raiders? Eleanor. I think it was.
Oh my God.
Wasn't he playing at Illuminor? Wasn't he playing at a
Luminor.
Pro Bowl level?
Well, that goes to
young
Voncho's talent
potential.
evaluation.
We know what Fedulum is. We
Yeah,
don't
we know
know
his
what
season.
Iggy is.
Exactly.
Question: Do we know what Iggy is?
All right, Rashad,
No.
hold up, Rashad, hold up, Rashad.
That's all I want to know.
Just hold on. I just had Batman ask me that I knew it was going to come up from somebody. I'm disappointed it was you, Batman.
You don't have to address it though, Steven. You don't have to address it. When they go low, you can go high.
I've been holding back too.
But it's true. What I'm asking is, Steven, what I'm asking is, listen, we got on Pete when he was bringing up that nonsense of Baker Mayfield and Jimmy G, and we rather have the potential of what we have right now than trade for something that it's not that great of an upgrade. You get what I mean? But what I'm asking you is, we know what Kane Fedulum is going to bring. We know his ceiling. We know what he does for this roster, quote unquote, special teams. And don't get me wrong, Noah did special teams last year too. There's no denying that. But Noah has a ceiling where he could potentially, be a boundary corner for you. He could be, or even at worst, a backup safety.
Batman, let's talk one-on-one here, sir. Why hasn't he? Why did he not dress for 10 games last
we
year?
can't mention that guy's name. So
why did
we
cut Illuminor?
Yeah, you
I'm not going to mention his name.
Probably shouldn't.
We're not going to. Listen, that started a fight yesterday after the show was over. I'm not mentioning his name.
But Noah was not on the field. And whether we want to
mention
his name that shall not be mentioned. If we don't want to bring up Baltimore's
Flores
name,
mismanaged that talent. There, it's been said.
Yeah, I think they over-evaluated the young man, and now they're doubled down and they're trying to justify.
You can't mention that name.
So
we're not saying let's extend him.
Rashad, hold up, y'all.
I'm
telling y'all right now, if he come week 7, if this man is not playing a predominant role as a backup or a special team player, I'm coming for all you on the panel, every last one of you.
All right, I'm going to say the same thing for Fedulum. I'm going to say the same thing to you for Fedulum then. I'm going to say the same exact thing for Fedulum.
Not in a predominant role by week 7.
I am not tied to Clayton Fedulum.
No, that's your boy, Blue.
Steven, you love Clayton. Yes, you do.
You like Sam McLaughlin.
Fedulum is your boy, Blue.
If he's not getting on that field other than special teams, we have a problem.
You up.
As of today, I now dub D, Steven, president of the.
No, I don't want it.
The Feel You Up Fedulum. Feel You Up Fedulum.
No. I was tied to Kirk Merritt last year, but I refuse.
I like Kirk Merritt. I like Kirk
Merritt. I'm gonna watch him and on the Saints.
President
He's gonna fall out on the.
That's his hometown too.
And everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, Steven was right. Steven knows talent." Because I
like
promise y'all.
Oh, wait. But we cut him, and that would be another dumb decision by us handling talent.
To y'all's point,
Cedric Wilson took that job.
I agree. Our talent evaluation has been garbage. But I'm telling you right now, at minimum, though, even with all that crap going on last year, he at least should have dressed and been on special teams, and he wasn't for 10 games. That tells you something. I don't care what the thing is.
Steven, but he did look at his snap count. He has actually a bunch of snaps. He does. He just special teams.
Batman, we just looked at his production for last year.
No, production is trash.
He had 6 tackles. That was
it. I know what his production was bad. I'm saying he actually touched the field.
By the way, Batman, he had timeout. I'm not done. Just wait. I'm not finished. Not only that, he hadn't had no passes defended. He didn't have no knockdowns. He
played special teams. That's all he played.
He sucks. Noah Igbonogony sucks.
Steve, I've never heard you this passionate. I've never heard you this passionate for somebody. I like this, Steve.
I'm over it.
I like this, Steven. I like this.
Wait.
It's crazy.
Can I give you something, Steven?
You can sit up here and say Noah sucks, but when somebody says Tua sucks, everybody's like,
Stephen D. Hold on, wait a minute.
I'm keeping my mouth as a point. I'm not saying a word. As a point.
I'm ready for Noah now. Bring on Noah now. Let me know where Noah now is.
Steven, you do know I'm the vice president of the Noah fan club. You know that, right?
That's fine. Go ahead, Noah.
Stephen D. You're excited about our offensive lineman coach and our young offensive lineman developing under this coach, but we have Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison grooming
And that's
our
all
23-year-old
and you know what? I'm
and
glad
you're not
you said
excited
that.
about that.
I'm glad you said Rashad.
And you know that he's staying after practice with Sam Madison.
Hold on, Batman. Let me address Rashad. Not only, I'm glad you said that, sir, because if Noah still isn't producing come week 7, I'm going to be more than happy to clip this and replay it for you. Oh, we got Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain. Shouldn't he be this great thing? Nothing. Noah sucks.
Ooh, did you guys hear that? That's an indictment against. That's an indictment against Patrick Surtain.
Good morning, everybody.
And Sam
Good
Madison.
morning, everybody.
Steven going after the boy.
So you saying our
I gotta interrupt.
our Ring of Honor cornerback can't develop
One at a time, guys. One at a time.
Come on, guys.
Did you hear Steven say Noah sucks, Color? Did you hear that?
Hold on.
I came in to do what Cullen does best,
my boy
and that's
Noah.
cull out the fallacies.
Okay.
And I just have a question.
Get him, Color.
So we started about 10 minutes ago blaming Flores for picking Noah because
we did not blame him.
Get him, Color. Get him, Color. Don't take it back, Color.
Wait
Go
a minute.
for blood.
We all agreed that Flores got excited and a gleam in his eye when Noah was picked. So it's obviously was Flores' guy. Then 10 minutes later, we're going to turn around and say it was a bad coaching decision on Flores for not putting Noah on the field. Wait a minute. Which is it?
Both.
He's trying to do what that Belichick did when he stashed the play.
Can't be both.
Are you saying Flores has multiple personality disorder?
Flores did a bad job of developing him.
Yeah, Flores tried to do that Belichick way where he stashed him. He tried to stash him.
What we did was
because he got fired.
Yeah, kind of like he did a good job of developing Holland when he went out there and scouted Holland.
The man whose name shall remain nameless because we don't want to look like we're blaming him for everything.
Don't bring up his name. Oh, here we go.
You know,
drafting Noah Igbonogony and said, "Here, you go stop Stephon Diggs. Here,
I'm going to make a logical explanation to all this. Okay?
I say we put Noah back at wide receiver.
You've only been playing corner for 1 year, but we want to see you stop these top 10 wide receivers today."
Yeah, kind of like what he did in New England when he was
I got something to say right now.
That's good.
Kind of like let Alex said we want to see our quarterback today.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest.
Go ahead, Alex.
There's two points to this. Okay. Number one, Flores did pick Noah, but I partially blame Flores because he didn't develop him the right way. But that's partially on Flores. The other half is on Chris Greer for drafting him over Jonathan Taylor and etc.
But
okay,
Alex,
and number three,
Xavier Howard balling
there's one more.
Jonathan Taylor was a fan favorite. Greer's favorite.
Hold on, let Alex.
So you can stop the nonsense about the Jonathan Taylor monster
for coaching him
when
up.
you have Xavier Howard and Byron Jones ahead of you, and you
he
only
didn't
played
expect
corner for at
Xavier
least
to be
1
there.
year. You only played corner for 1 year.
Xavier to be there.
He's
Xavier was
a
going through
transitional
domestic
receiver
issues, so
to
he used it as
corner.
a backup plan.
He's only played corner for 1 year. Of course, you're going to see the bench.
Alex.
He didn't expect Xavier to be here long term because of domestic problems.
I agree with you,
Alex.
Crypto.
You said that Flores is the one who drafted Noah, correct?
Flores and Greer, yes.
Flores or Greer? Which one is it?
Both of them.
Greer's the general manager. He has the veto power.
Okay. Was Flores on board and did he want him? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So explain to me, since he who shall not be named, although we've named him 50 million times, how come he didn't allow him to dress for 10 games last year?
Von Joe just told you.
Yeah, he got 3 other players better than him.
Von Joe just told you it was
mishandling of talent. When you have Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, and Nick Needham ahead of you, there's going to be a problem. Noah has never played the inside He never ever
Alex,
played the inside corner.
Alex, let me interrupt. I'm gonna hit the mute button on you, buddy. I apologize, but let me tell you something. The reason that Noah didn't dress for 10 games, sir, is because Noah sucks and couldn't get on the field for nothing.
Right.
Not only did
I
will mute every last one of y'all. Let me tell y'all something right now. Not only does Noah suck, he couldn't even get on the field for special teams.
He did though.
He didn't do nothing.
All right, but he was on the field though.
10 games. Don't tell me that he came up.
You know who I blame?
I
blame Nick. You know who I blame, Steven? I blame Nick Needham for being too good.
What's Fedulum stats? Pull up Fedulum stats.
I think Noah's going to bounce back.
Being so good at his job.
Hey, Color.
I think Noah will bounce back.
Let's put a side by side. Fedulum and Noah stats last year. Let's put a side by side.
I am not tied to Fedulum. Stop it. I'm not tied to Fedulum.
But if you're cutting one of them, you're going to cut Fedulum. If you're cutting one of them, you're cutting Fedulum.
My point blank statement is I will take an end of the roster player who is great on special teams over Noah.
Let's get that kid from Oregon that played with Holland, his buddy.
Steven, I have a question for you.
McKinley's going to make
Noah's not even doing special teams.
I got a question about what
Fred,
Alex said. Hold on, Alex. I got a question for you about what you said about partially blaming Flores for not developing Noah properly. Well, first of all, Flores is the head coach, right? He has to delegate. And you can blame him for hiring the people that failed to develop Noah, but who are those people? The defensive coordinator, Josh Boyer.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
but why do
God, Stephen D, get out of here, Stephen, with your Fedulum love.
Making the wrong hire with Josh Boyer.
All right, guys, welcome to TFTG in the morning.
Let me
one at a time, fools. One at a time. Go ahead, Batman. Wait up. Go ahead, Batman. Go ahead, Batman.
No, wait a minute. We're going to stay
Bill Color. You wait a minute. Go ahead, Batman.
You give credit. You give credit.
I don't have mute powers.
I wasn't. But you don't give credit for him not developing.
I wasn't finished yet.
He wasn't finished yet, Batman.
You can't have both.
I wasn't finished yet. If you all are going to say that it was a bad decision, and he hired the wrong people who didn't develop Noah, those people are still in the building.
Yeah. You think I believe in his defense right now?
Fair enough.
Did you not see
Actually, Alexander is no longer in the building. No, Alexander is no longer in the building. He was the quarterback.
Boyer is.
Wait.
Boyer.
Yeah,
Alexander was the
and his assistant.
Gerald Alexander, yes, that's right.
But Boyer was the defensive coordinator when
here's the thing. They didn't expect Nick Needham to be this good.
Well,
they did not expect Needham to be good.
Downhill. So we blame Flores for the hire.
Yeah,
okay. He
but
hired Boyer.
Hold on,
we blame Boyer for
Fred,
Jared Alexander.
Fred, I want to
Boyer's still in the building.
But hold on, Alexander, hold on. Let me just address Color real quick.
I agree with Color. I think
Color.
Alex is really blaming Boyer. Go ahead, Andres.
Again, I'm blaming the defensive staff. The head coach and the defensive staff, yes.
Yeah, well, that
I blame. Yep, me too. I blame.
I'm sorry to cut you off, bro.
For developing Nick Needham, but they don't want to give him credit for not developing
Noah.
He doesn't make any sense to me.
It goes in the other direction too, Batman. They're not giving him credit for stuff he did do well.
We got
again.
He's gone.
I said it.
I was always told that Needham was that guy.
That is correct, Andres. He's out the building, but somehow he's a demon in somebody's imagination.
Oh, Bonjo.
I said that it was a mismanagement of the talent.
EM told me.
I agree with you, Bonjo. There was.
It's not a development issue. It's not a development issue. It's a mismanagement of the talent.
I think it's both.
We haven't seen the talent. We haven't. We see it in spurts.
Listen, there's a reason why Noah was a first-round pick because they had a lot of. There were some draft analysts that had him as a first and a second or a third-round pick. You know, they had some analysts getting drafted in the late first round. But
Noah was a reach. I'm going to say he was a reach.
I want to respond to Fred. The reason why he
What about
toasted
Noah against the Jags getting toasted, everybody? What about that? What about when Noah got
6'3"?
as Fred points out, what about Noah against the Jags getting toasted?
Cap, when he was
Noah doesn't get toasted.
And Marvin Jones is a veteran.
He did against the Jags, though, in that Jags game.
Marvin Jones is a veteran, though.
Over, but
Marvin Jones is a veteran, and Noah's 5'10". And Marvin Jones, what, 6'3"? 6'2", 6'3"?
Listen,
Come
it's
on.
pretty safe to say. I think we
Marvin's
can pull the
6'5",
plug.
man.
I think if we pulled the plug and traded
Marvin's like
Noah,
6'3", something like that.
he would absolutely be warranted that.
I'm
But I
with-
think
I'm with
because he's a
Andre.
first-round draft pick, and because we just brought in what
Right.
we all perceive to be
I think
But Noah did make
talent
good
We have
plays.
the luxury of just
I say
sitting
we
him on
trade
the
him. I
roster.
say we trade him to Pittsburgh.
And cut every person who hasn't put a damn jersey on in the last 2 years. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, Rashad, I would say this. I don't
think we
think we
trade him
have
to
the
Pittsburgh.
luxury for nothing right now. There's no luxury at all. This
Yeah,
team needs to.
he'd become
this
a
team
Pro
needs
Bowler
to-
then if he
this
traded
team
to
needs
Pittsburgh.
His age,
Exactly. Trade him to
His age
Pittsburgh.
is
This
the
is what
luxury.
Just
happens.
like
because we do have aging corners.
we know what
wait,
defensive
Flores
backs going to
drafted
Pittsburgh
two
from
of
Miami
them.
turn out to be.
Let's let Bill Belichick.
Look,
get his
forget
hands
about
on
who
him and see what he
drafted who
turns
drafted who.
into.
Forget about that. Who's more expendable, Fedulum or Noah?
Fedulum.
Fedulum.
Thank you.
Fedulum.
I don't
Fedulum right now.
honestly, Batman. I don't know.
Because of the money.
I don't know because I'm not on the field. I could be like,
Chris,
yeah,
stop
let
it,
me.
stop it,
I'm
stop it.
just
El Cap,
saying.
stop.
Noah's
Listen,
dead
I'm just
cap.
saying.
Not
No,
a
If
joke.
they go,
we're not
look,
doing
if
that.
Noah is
Steven
not going to
did
get
do
his
it.
head turned
Steven
around
D.
to
But
back
that's
passes down,
fine, but
and get
that-
Let me tell you something. Hold on.
Hey, to quote our
Guys,
QB1,
hold on. Time
to
out.
quote our
Time out.
QB1, Flores drafted Tua too.
Yes, because Tua did say it. Let's Tua is an outright liar.
But listen. But
What's the point?
what
What are we all
everybody forgets.
hollering about?
Now,
Who was
Tua did get
was
came out of
Noah's
Tua's
first?
mouth.
When Noah first came on the field, who did he guard? When
Stephon
he first
Diggs.
came on,
Diggs.
exactly. So that destroyed his confidence because Diggs was running around.
Oh my!
all
First
over
of
him.
all, I
No,
am
it didn't
so
come
sick
with
of
the territory.
confidence
Didn't
being
come with
destroyed.
confidence.
He was
That's
sitting-
the
That comes with the territory.
I don't
You
want
bring
to
your
hear
team like
about
you're gonna
how
be
your
in it.
lack of
53
confidence
guys
Even
with
is
Deion
why
Sanders
you're
got
not
beat
doing
before.
good.
He
Stop
he
it.
was
That's a bad
argument.
take.
Even the best
If you don't
cornerbacks
have
get beat by good
confidence,
wide
then
receivers.
you don't need to be
But-
playing in the
but
NFL.
Yeah, Alex, that's a bad take,
bro.
Alex. That's a bad take,
That's
Alex.
It
real
was
bad.
John Brown or Stephon
Stop
Diggs. Why would you put Howard on John Brown instead of Stephon Diggs?
Alex, if you are that guy,
Answer
if
that
you are that
question.
guy,
See,
Alex,
there's
if you
swim,
are
bro.
that guy,
That's
To
how
have the
if
best
you
you
are
learn.
that
confidence so he
guy,
can know what it's
you
like.
can't be
So he
afraid
can
of
get up
any
to speed.
receiver out there.
No,
You
your
can't be
number
afraid of a
two
receiver.
quarterback supposed to guard your
Alex,
number two.
I don't
the
care.
opposite
If you
number
are
two
that
receiver.
guy,
Alex,
No,
you
no,
can't
no, no, no. Don't
protect
give me that.
anybody.
Don't
You
give
need
me
to go
that.
mano a
protect
mano with the
people
best
in
so
the-
you
in
can
the
know where
NFL.
you stand.
Don't give me that, Batman.
You're not doing
That's
them.
your
No,
ego.
you're not
Go
doing
mano a
anything
mano
but
with the
Guys,
best
we're talking over each other. Nobody can
don't be
hear.
afraid.
All right.
Nobody can
Batman,
hear.
I'm sorry. I don't.
The
I
audio
don't
sounds
believe,
horrible.
I don't.
Alex,
Batman,
I'll say
I
this,
don't-
Alex. Listen, you can't protect people. You can't stash people on the field saying, "Oh, I'm going to match him up where it's best for him," because that's exactly what an offensive coordinator is going to do. Going to go, here's the bad matchup. They're trying to protect their weak link. I'm going to get Stephon Diggs on Noah. I don't. It's just
But the
how it
announcers
works.
even said it was a bad matchup for Noah Igbonogony.
Yeah,
Well, you
but
know
you
what?
gotta learn, man. That's how you take
That's
your
it.
lumps.
The only way you
That's how
learn
you
is
take
take
your
the
lumps.
ball.
Alex.
The NFL.
You put a rookie.
Look, Alex,
Stephon
hold
Diggs
on.
is never
Yes.
a rookie alive.
Yes.
Like, come
Yes.
on.
What
That's how you
Capitan
learn.
is saying,
Yes.
what Capitan is saying is they'll line up however we want them to line up. That doesn't mean after the snap of the ball that so-and-so is going to be on Noah.
Alex, how many times did Nick Needham? How many times did Nick Needham
I've
take
been
lumps?
very quiet,
How
and my name
how
was
many
brought
times
up.
did Nick Needham take his lumps?
It could end
How
up
many
being that
times?
matchup.
I've been very
Nick
quiet,
Needham
and my
was-
name was brought up in the chats. I didn't say a word about anything, and
Yeah,
I've
you
been
did,
very
David.
quiet.
Stop your lying, David. Now you're lying too. Not only are you not being quiet, but you're lying.
Hey, we can all agree Nick Needham
First of
took
all, there was
a
a-
lot
It
of
doesn't
hits.
matter if you're a
He
rookie or
took a
not.
lot
Richmond
of
Webb
hits.
was
difference
facing
with
Drew
Noah.
Smith right out of the
And
gates
Nick
on the
Needham-
first
and
snap.
Nick Needham
Stop
learned.
it, Alex.
And
Nick
now
Needham-
he'll- hold on,
It was
just
a
real quick.
Just real quick.
Now is when we need David's tomahawks off the top rope, man. You got to bring him in now, David. Now is precisely
You know
when
what?
you
I
gotta
had
do it.
enough of that yesterday.
Oh, Oh, I know. Listen, all right. I would say that there's a common theme here where people are creating narratives of absolute excuse for professional athletes. And we're talking about feelings. Now, I'm not saying dehumanize them, that they're not people with feelings, but I can't equate that in the product on the field. That's just ridiculous. I ain't got no time for that. You're talking about millionaires.
There's 1,500 players in the
El
NFL.
El Capitan, you going with Fetchum or Noah? That's what I want to know. He knows the answer. He just doesn't want to answer because he doesn't want to end the argument.
He knows the answer to that.
He knows the answer to that.
So hold on,
Capitan. On the roster.
Go ahead, Von Joe.
When it's
Go ahead,
all
Von
said
Joe.
and done.
Go ahead, Von.
Again, we see this argument already where we see Needham was barbecue chicken all over our field when he first got on the field.
And he learned.
Yeah.
He was the only corner there.
Exactly. Still learning.
Could I finish?
Let him go. Let him go, everybody. Von Joe.
Before you jump off the rope. So
that's my job.
So again, we see the development of Needham through playing. And you can only develop through playing. We haven't seen, that's why I say it's a mismanagement of the talent, because we haven't put him on the field to be exposed and really learn and really develop in that sense. He hasn't developed. You got to play. You got to get reps to develop. So again, if we could go back to the draft, we could go back to the draft pick. Again, mismanagement of talent. We drafted the wrong person, no matter what reason it was at the time. But once you get the draft and you have the talent on your team, you have to use it. And us not using him is a mismanagement of that talent.
You're not going to get better by sitting on the bench, and that's you're exactly, Von Joe. Von Joe's correct. You're not going to get better by just being undressed and being on the bench, man. You got to play the kid, and everybody sees him miss that.
So who do you want to take off the field to put
But that's
Noah
double
out there?
speak, Alex. Now you want to turn around and say who you want to play him against. You got to play him against anybody possible.
Yes,
you
can't be scared. It doesn't matter.
You can't say put him out there on the field and then go, but it wasn't fair because he went against the top wide receiver.
We're talking about
what I'm saying is that it's a huge mismatch when you have Stephon Diggs on Noah Igbonogony, a rookie on a veteran receiver. That's a recipe for disaster.
Talking about a rookie.
Right there.
It's not always a recipe for disaster. There's a lot of cornerbacks that come in the league that plays well right out the gate. So stop it.
Late first round corners.
Stop making an absolute statement. Because there's a lot of cornerbacks that comes in this league that play well right out the gate.
First round pick.
Stop the nonsense.
Alex, this is where your argument becomes a little because again, if he gets barbecue chicken, oh well, that's how you learn. Because at the end of the day, the Jets have Sauce Gardner that's gonna be going against who?
The top wide receiver,
Tyreek Hill against
He's gonna be probably covering that Tyreek Hill.
I don't think he will.
Jets fans gonna be going. It's not fair. They hurt his confidence because he went against Tyreek Hill.
Sauce Gardner got to go against Tyreek Hill, and he got to go against Diggs.
Yeah.
I mean, Sauce Gardner's coming in the league with a lot of different expectations.
But the point is, you don't be afraid because it's a rookie.
What hurts your confidence is
that
you getting toasted
the
and
talent.
you can't get back on the field.
Jose, hold on real quick. Jose makes a perfect point, Alex. If they brought in yes, he does. He says if they brought in a veteran salesperson to compete with you for your job, are you going to fold like a cheap suit and go, my confidence hurts? They broke my confidence.
Right.
No, bro. No one. I'm sorry. There's no sympathy.
No one plays football that way. You're playing scared.
I hate when we compare regular jobs to athletes. It's not the same. It's not the same at all.
It's not the
I
same.
don't know though.
It's nowhere near
It sort of is, man. Like,
it's still a job. I think
it's all about feelings, bro.
If somebody brings in a finance specialist to my company, I'm not going to be like, oh my god, he's going to take my job. It's a coworker. It's way different.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Doesn't mean the next is what you
exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
They're
not going to bring in. They're not going to bring in somebody.
Who's got something to say to me now?
Are you sure, Andreas? I feel like you'd be hurt if they brought in financial analysts. You'd be like, oh my god, no. I would be like, let's work for me. Let's work for me. Shit.
Bon Joe with the evil laugh.
So Noah, this is my message to Noah. Be more like Andrevius.
Yeah, Noah.
What?
Be like, let's work for me.
It's all about production, guys. That's what it's about.
Don't get
Lewis. We haven't heard from Lewis.
At the end of the day,
He makes the final 52. What are y'all going to be saying then?
Here's where people misconstrue.
The final 53.
Hold on 1 second, Alex. Hold on 1 second. Lewis, go ahead, Lewis.
Nah, y'all are arguing wrong anyway. Don't worry about Noah. He's gonna be fine. We just wrapped him up in bubble wrap and caution tape, and he's gonna be fine when we throw him out on the field. Don't worry about it.
Gonna release the beast.
Oh, Lewis, another troll.
For what team, Lewis? It ain't gonna be for the Dolphins.
It's gonna be for the Tampa Bay Bandits of the USFL. Don't worry about it.
That sounds about right. That sounds.
By the way, how is he supposed to get special teams time when we're putting Tyreek back there?
What are you talking about? Noah's
putting Tua back there. What's going on?
But
we want
people
misconstrue
that.
Steven wants Fedulum back there. Steven loves Fedulum.
See, here's where I'm gonna deflect the argument about Sauce Gardner when El Capitan brought that up. Sauce Gardner was a top 10 pick.
He didn't bring that up. I brought that up.
Sauce Gardner's a top 10 pick, right? He was drafted in the top 10, right? Or top 5.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Chris.
So Noah was drafted 28th overall.
You're still a first round pick, and so your argument's irrelevant. You still win the first round, guaranteed money.
It takes time for a late first round pick to bloom in the NFL than a top 5 pick.
How much time do you
That's
need,
nonsense.
How much time
Jesus
do you
Christ,
need?
that's nonsense.
What about Jordan Love? Jordan Love hasn't seen the field yet.
Aaron Rodgers was in front of him. Stop it.
Do you think Green Bay Packer
It
fans
took a while for
sucks?
Aaron Rodgers to bloom. Hello?
Do you think Packer fans say he sucks?
Okay, Noah, sit down.
Where we come from?
I
was gonna say, you guys
It
are
just
kind of
feels
making
good that I'm not yelling today.
You guys
That's
are
all
making
it
the
is.
same
Y'all gonna
argument
let me
because
talk? Stop screaming.
y'all saying Rodgers sat behind Brett, and again, Love is sitting behind another All-Pro QB. It's not like Noah's got scrubs in front of him. He has All-Pro talent in front of him.
Exactly. Checkmate.
So you guys are saying,
Rashad, what were you gonna say, buddy?
I wasn't going to say anything. It's just every time I say one thing, somebody screams at me. Like, good Lord, relax. It's 9 o'clock in the morning over here. Sheesh.
Well, all right then. I think Alex, you're wrong. And Batman.
We just like yelling at Californians, man.
I see.
Hey, that's fine. Yeah, hey,
They like yelling back. Let's be real.
No, I still love all y'all, even though y'all don't agree with me. It's still fine. That's why I love debating. That's why I love coming here and debating with you guys, because you guys are awesome, and you guys are like family to me. So, but it's it's all good, bro. It's all good. We're all Dolphins fans. We all
when you
want
say
the best.
family, is it like a cousin or an uncle?
Former sister's cousin's boyfriend.
I'm gonna keep it real. Some of y'all cousins I don't invite to the cookout. I ain't gonna hold you.
Well, are we talking like Habsburg family here, or?
But I'm bringing food though.
No,
I'm bringing some potato salad.
Nah, and your potato salad got raisins in it. No, I'm good.
Oh wow.
No, I'm not good.
Wow.
Vanjo, believe it or not, I hate raisins. I don't eat raisins at all. It's nasty. Raisins are nasty.
You got to give them a chance. You only been there 2 years.
Mix them with something.
You have to give them a chance. You have to give the raisins a chance.
You got to eat them with oatmeal or something. You got to mix it with something. It's never good.
Crypto. I don't know about that.
You got to put them in your oatmeal, man.
So
Alex,
Alex, family, are we talking like Habsburgs, Plantagenets, Tudors?
So listen, Steven asks, what are we going to do?
What the heck are you talking about?
Listen, guys, Steven's asking what happens if Noah comes off the field week 7. What are we going to say then?
Listen, nobody want to hear from Steven. Steven, you stay in the back and eat your food.
Steven, Noah, but that means he's still on the roster. That means he survived another final 53 roster cut. That's what that means.
I gotta believe. Just real quick, I gotta believe that
you have to believe in our. You gotta believe in the coaching talent.
Gator says the Beverly Hillbillies.
I gotta believe that. In the
coaching,
I was thinking Hatfields and McCoys.
With the lack of playing time for Noah and the fact that he's a first round pick, he's not going anywhere. So whether we can recoup that first round draft value. I don't know. Pete, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Capitan? I hear you guys. Hold on to an ears. Hold on to an ears. Alex, give me a second, please.
Bring up that last
Listen,
comment by,
after hearing you guys, right, debating about Noah Igbonogany.
Hold on, Pete, before you talk, hold on, let me adjust my volume.
Vaughn, I got a question for you guys. I need you to hear me, so adjust the volume.
Spit out my coffee.
This is the ultimate decision right here, and this is an honest opinion, and I need real answers. We need to trade right now Tua, Austin Jackson, and Noah Igbonogany.
$10, please. $10.
Hold on. Why? It's not all about Tua. But can we trade that entire draft class? Hold on. Let me just ask the question. Can we trade that entire draft class? And if so, what is it worth today? All three in a package.
Nothing at all.
It's worth a lot. It's worth at least 7 first-round picks.
It's worth at least 3 pickle legs.
Look, you guys must be serious because you know that's a busted draft class. That's the funny thing about it. Y'all think it's funny, and I don't find that draft class funny at all.
I don't either.
This is probably one of the worst draft classes in franchise history. And I'm sorry I got to say that. But this is by far the worst. I've never even, you can't even name a worse draft class than that class.
Actually, I can.
You won't find it. The Deion Jordan draft class.
I can actually.
Well, we traded.
You can try, but we've never had 3 first-round draft picks and busted on all 3 so bad.
But we traded 2 first-round picks. What are you talking about? We traded 2 first-round picks for Deion Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the box to get Deion Jordan.
But what about the Charles
that guy
Harris
was
draft?
the GOAT, wasn't he?
What about the Charles Harris draft, the 2017 draft?
You can't compare, Alex, 3 players. Listen, Alex, 3 players.
Come on, man.
Why can't
3 players, bro? There's no comparison, dude. This is the worst, hands down.
Is not labeled a bust yet.
We just gave you a comparison.
All 3 of those
after this year, we can start riding that train.
For one,
okay,
that one was a bust.
The same with Tua, and the same with Austin Jackson. If they don't perform this year, then we could label them as a bust. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But you're not going to see right now that they're a bust.
Listen, we traded away Tunzel. We traded away Tunzel to not pay him. We never found his replacement, and we thought we did with the 18th pick. And we had to go out and pay an injury-prone tackle that's going to give us 10 games max. So, I mean, at this point,
I hope you know that
Austin Jackson's projection at left tackle is gone. His projection. Oh, look at this, a beautiful. We shouldn't even. We should. You look at the. Go Dolphins.
Precious. That's what I'm talking about.
We gotta start winning for the little ones.
Hey,
God bless, bro.
El Capitan, way to save us from
you forget that lemon trust trick gave us Tyreek Hill. I hope you know that.
Capitan, you are wrong. You are wrong, El Capitan.
Negative. I've never been wrong in my life, and even when I was wrong, I could have been right, so I wasn't wrong then.
You're setting that child up for heartbreak.
Yo, where's the Billy Madison? Where's the Billy Madison voice right now, man? Because Pete just made me dumber than what I was about 10 minutes ago, man.
Oh
my God.
Everything you said has now made everyone in the room dumber.
Yeah. And you've been awarded no points.
I'm sorry, but
let's trade the entire draft class in one.
You know what? You know how dumb I am that none of you even had a trade package offer. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is, Alex. You just want to say things like that.
Hold on, just real quick.
If you were Chris Greer, what would you have done, Pete, if you were Chris Greer back in 2019? What would you have done, sir?
If I was Chris Greer, I would
Justin
pick my
Herbert.
picks as the GM. I think Chris Greer, the biggest
can't even
knock
hear you
against
guys.
him, the biggest knock against Chris Greer is that he kowtows to whoever he has in the building and lets them pick their picks and does whatever they want. And I think that proved very bad in those first 3 rounders. And if you guys, I don't care what anyone says, Austin Jackson, Tua, and Noah, none of them have a first-round draft value as of this point. I'd be surprised if you could get all 3 of them put together.
And that's
get a
fair,
first.
Chris.
Put all 3
That's
of them
fair,
together,
Chris.
then you get a first. That is terrible.
That's fair.
That's a good take. That's a good take. That's a good take.
But the question I want to know to Pete. I want to ask Pete is this. Hold on. I want to ask Pete a question. And this is, what would you have done with the Larry? Pete, what would you have done with Chris Greer with the Larry Tunsil thing, the whole Larry Tunsil thing? I want to hear what you would do. I want to hear what you would have done. Knowing that you're going to the season,
I said it since day one. You could go back on TD stream, go back on that live stream when we traded. Look at me in the chat, and I'm telling everybody this is the worst move the organization could have ever done.
I was going to say, Pete said the trade was a bad trade, didn't you, Pete?
The Noah
trade? It was the worst move. It sent us into a total rebuild. Why you think we've been hot garbage the last few seasons? So
this team needed a total rebuild.
It didn't help us. Trading Tunsil didn't help us. And look, trading Tunsil would have at least secured something on that offensive line. Keeping Tunsil.
We're still getting money back on that Tunsil trade, bro.
Did you just say
injury-riddled linemen to play now?
Pete, listen.
Come on, bro.
Pete, I was in the back room.
What
and let me tell you, I'm the only one to be kicked off.
That wasn't even 10 minutes, Steven. I'm gonna tell you right now.
It was.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
11:45. I got kicked off. It was 11:56. So it was 11 minutes. And
go back and check. Where's Chef Jew? Chef Jew, you in here? Was that 10 minutes?
I can tell you it was. Look, 11. It doesn't say the time on there, but I'm telling you, it says 11:45. It is 11:56 now. I came on at the right time.
It's actually 11:57 now.
Okay, so there you go. Now, Pete, to your sir, did you just say that the Laramie Tunsil trade didn't produce anything for the Dolphins?
The Laramie Tunsil trade sent us to rebuild, and it was the worst move the organization has ever done. Trading Tunsil away.
Somebody get this man off the panel, please.
Wait a minute. He didn't say we didn't get anything out of it. He said it was the worst.
He said it was the worst move in our history.
But both of those can be true.
No, they can't.
No, they can't.
No, they can't.
It wasn't.
If we can't yield a Super Bowl championship within the next 3 years, it will be.
We got Jalen Waddle from that trade. Y'all know that, right?
Exactly, but it has to yield a championship in the long run.
What is it? Tunsil was yielding a champion. What the yo? Y'all look at my daughter right here. What are y'all saying right now? Y'all just saying anything. We were in.
I gotta say, I would say.
I think Pete is just bringing. I think Pete is
doing the Laramie Tunsil trade.
Trying to
bad. Yeah,
it is what it is.
Lazy-minded.
Bonjo is so. Go ahead.
It's not what it is because we still have
What
capital
do you
from
need
that
mugging for,
trade.
Lewis?
How, like Pete, like
I'm not saying I agree with Pete. I'm just saying
Pete out here on a ledge, bro.
Listen,
Pete out here on a ledge.
Listen, we will not be 32nd ranked offensive line. We would not have used all that capital we had to use on that offensive line. We more than likely would have gotten a running back instead of Austin Jackson. And we could have done so much.
I'm not saying I disagree.
No first-round running
y'all
back
are being
ever. Dolphins will never get a first-round running back. Take it to the bank. As long as
By the way, all right, here we go. All right, y'all listening? Everybody put yourselves on mute. Put yourselves on
and
mute.
Laramie Tunsil could have been the captain of the team.
Put yourself on mute. All right, everybody put yourselves on mute. This is what Laramie Tunsil has given us for trading him. He's given Noah Igbonogony, Julian Davenport, and I'm mad Noah was the first person I said.
No, just say it. That's what he's given us.
Solomon Kinley, Jalen Waddle, Javon Holland, Tyreek Hill, and has given us a 2022 third-round pick, a 2022 fourth-round pick, and a 2023
Tinder,
pick.
Easy
It's
E,
still
and a
producing.
2023.
Oh yeah, so what is that? That's Channing Tindall and Easy E.
And you know what you got, Steven? You know what you got? A bunch of 2 in here. No, because I don't see nothing there.
You know what? You know what? Right now, you couldn't get.
That's
Listen,
a very good
Steven,
trade.
I don't
It
see
just
nothing
made us
there.
paper champions without the Lombardi trophy.
That makes my argument even better.
No, it doesn't, Pete. No, it doesn't, Pete. I love you, buddy. But if you look, you couldn't get
argument out.
What we have left over, take all the players off. Just what we have left in draft capital. You couldn't get that for Laramie Tunsil right now.
And Javon Holland is arguably the best defensive player.
And first of all, how do you plug Tyreek Hill into this?
You
Laramie Tunsil.
Wrong. We use the capital from Tunsil.
Guess what, guys?
Tyreek Hill.
He might be wrong. He might be wrong. But now you all know why he's wrong.
Yeah,
you didn't know why he was wrong before.
No, we know now.
No, now
he used capital
he knows
from that trade to give.
No, we all knew he was wrong.
He doesn't want to
You
admit
can't
it.
name. Hold on. I am gonna admit it. Watch this. Name one Pro Bowler on that list.
Tyreek Hill.
Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and
Jalen Waddle is not a Pro Bowler. Name a Pro Bowler on that list.
He will be.
Tyreek.
We did. First of all, we did not need Laramie Tunsil's cap. We did not need Laramie Tunsil's capital to trade for Tyreek Hill. That's number one. We did it. We could have used a different first round draft pick.
Steven,
Nobody has
can I go real quick? Can I go real quick?
Go ahead.
I'll say this. I see where you're coming from, Pete, because I think it's more of an ideology thing. When you got rid of Tunsil, it signaled
I guarantee you.
on
go ahead, Chris.
destruction of the team.
Thank you.
And I personally was not on board for blowing it up for this exact reason, because now you blow a team up.
It needed to be blown up, Chris.
I agree with.
Oh no, it didn't.
Why? But I'm
Yes,
telling
it
you, the blowback of blowing it up the way we did has never been done like this. And really, it's kind of a miracle we've had 2 winning seasons the past 2 years, and we're not sitting here as the Lions. If you think about it, blowing it
9
up,
and 8 is a winning season only because it's over 500 according to you guys. I guess that's a winning season, but we haven't won anything.
Yes,
what
that's
they
a winning
did
season.
with that capital.
If you have more wins than losses,
The only thing we've won, Chris, is being the laughing stock of the league, okay? And I'll tell you guys right now, not even that list that Steven just put up will convince me.
So let's
The 2 worst moves is the worst draft class in Tua's class and trading Tunsil away and heading for a complete rebuild and a reset. When
what
we
did
had
you want to
good
do with
players
Tunsil?
already.
What were we going to do?
Our O-line would have never been ranked 32nd with Tunsil on that offensive line. Never.
But you tend to forget, Pete, that this roster needed to be overhauled because of all the stuff, all the garbage that we have taken up the last 10 years.
That's not true. That's not true.
Half the garbage is
My connection keeps going
You guys
out.
will see what Pete trying to do, right?
Alex, don't you guys come up here and say salary cap doesn't mean anything?
Like this,
don't you guys come up here and say salary cap doesn't mean anything?
I
don't want to hear that.
Line argument against
with
you.
Joe Philbin, Adam
You guys
Gase.
don't realize what Pete is doing right. It's a backdoor way
No,
to
they
use the
don't.
offensive line and argument against you.
We would have had Laramie Tunsil, Gaskin,
We could have
Devontae
gotten more
Parker,
pieces. I never had to gamble on no Liam Eichenberg, no Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt.
You leave
You didn't have to do any of that. All of that could have been switched, and you guys got to look at the big picture.
You guys not
Matter of fact, Laramie Tunsil was so big in this locker room that the reason they traded him is because he said, trade me. If Laramie Tunsil would have been in this locker room, he would have said, hey, draft Jonathan Taylor, they would have drafted him. Hey,
really?
Don't
So
draft
that
Tua,
means
draft this guy. They would have listened to Laramie Tunsil. That guy was a different machine.
You guys are falling right into his trap. You guys are falling right into his
want to be traded.
Can I get him real quick?
Can I get trap?
Y'all
guys
did not want to trade him.
Crypto, let me get him. Let me get him real quick.
At all.
Let me get him real quick.
Go ahead.
So,
go ahead.
I just want Pete to know, if we would have kept Tunsil, we would not have had a pick for Jonathan Taylor. We would have finished probably 6 and 10, 7 and 9, something like that. We would have had a middle of the pack pick, which probably would have been.
You mean with all that extra time for Tua to throw?
We wouldn't have had Tua.
Tua
We wouldn't have Tua.
That's Pete's real agenda by not training Tunsil. Just so everybody knows.
We would have had
the real
Tunsil.
agenda.
That's another
is to
angle, though.
Probably would have got
You guys
Austin
are
Jackson again.
He's weaving you right into a spider web of calling y'all hypocrites.
That's
So
exactly.
We would have had
Don't
none
start,
of this
bro.
capital to get
Don't
none
let
of
the
these other
stupid takes
players.
fool you. He's smart, dude. Don't let the stupid takes
It's pretty
fool you.
clever what
drafting-
Pete is
Smart,
doing.
bro.
So you
We
guys,
wasn't drafting
you guys are
Jonathan
falling
Taylor
for
at
it.
16. Like, come on, bro. You're just talking. We could have done
Pete,
this with this pick. We wouldn't have had that
Pete,
pick.
you don't know what you're talking about, bro.
It's coming to the
there's
point.
some things
Actually think
there's some things
you
I
don't
agree
know
with
what
you
he's
on, but
talking
this is
about,
not.
but that's
This
beside
is
the
definitely
point.
not. This is definitely not one that I can't agree with you on because it's ridiculous because the roster needed to be blown up.
Alex, what do you agree with Pete on? Obviously, Tua, right?
Well, there was. Well, Pete had space a couple weeks ago, and he actually said some valid points. I can't remember what they were, but yeah, I actually did agree with him on
I
some
can't remember what they were, but they were valid.
You should be writing those down, bro.
He said he did say something. He did say something correct last week.
Hey, Alex, take notes next time, bro.
I know Alex wasn't trying to be funny, but that was hilarious.
That was hilarious, bro.
He goes, he had valid points.
He had valid points. I don't
no
know
idea
what
what
they
were, but they were valid.
I
that's
forget
why
what it
that
was.
other salesman
I
is
agree
coming
with
to
him
your
too.
job because
I
he
forget
takes
what it
notes.
was.
That's good.
I forget what it was, but he was right. But here I'm starting to
Yeah.
question:
But
was I wrong
right,
for agreeing with him?
But man, but do you guys agree with me that this roster needed to be blown up? Like from all the garbage you're taking in.
I don't know either.
Let me answer
It
first.
may
Let
have
me
needed
answer
to be
first.
blown
Let me
up,
answer
but
first.
they didn't
From where
blow it
I
up
sit right
correctly.
now, it hasn't worked.
All right, so here's where I'm at with it. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results, right? So I was okay with them blowing up the roster because it was something that was different. It was something that I'm not saying they've never done it, but it's
literally
something
constructed the same thing.
Stop interrupting, Color.
Hold on, Color. It's something that I believe to be that they were trying to create something new, right? Like they were trying to be different. Now, whether it has worked or not, that's to be determined. What I will say is I'm excited for this coming up year. I think that this year is going to be a big year for us. So let's say we go out and all of a sudden we make the playoffs, win a game. Now we're on the right track. We're right where we need to be. We are on pace for the deconstruction and rebuild of this team. And you can't say that it's not working. If we make the playoffs and win a playoff game this year, we're exactly where we're supposed to be.
But I tend to think, Steven, that we went into it with the intentions of creating something new, but we've got cold feet, and we have ultimately created the same thing we had before Flores got here and blew the team up.
All right,
I wouldn't say that.
The same cancer was in the building.
We're 9-8. We're literally the same thing we've been for 25 years.
Okay,
Pause, Ross.
Yes, that's been the average, right? That's been the average record.
Chris Greer actually did come out.
Guys, hold on.
When he made the roster,
the only thing remained the same as Stephen Ross.
Tyreek Hill is the biggest
Steven
difference.
is speaking.
Let me address Color's comment. Okay. Color, you're saying that we're 9-8. That's a fair statement, right? That it's a factual statement. It's not that it's fair, it's facts, right? But what I will say to you is they gutted the roster, right? They gutted it. And so they had to rebuild, and now they're going on this upward trajectory. So they had a bad first year, they had a mediocre second year, and the third year, it was, okay, we kind of got a little off course. It wasn't the route we were going. Let's just change a few things, and let's see if we can get it to where we were.
That's literally doing what we've been doing for 25 years.
Okay, hold on.
I don't think,
Steven,
I don't think we had a mediocre second
hold on,
year.
Alex. Hold on, Alex. But you have to start it from somewhere, right? Like it's got to go. It's got to go from there. So let me say this.
Well, real quick.
Hold on. 2 years.
Let me give
we
you.
dropped 5
hold
points
on.
per game from 2020 to 2021. We are
so
regressing.
I said they took a step back. Did I not say that? And so they said, let's go ahead and change a few things and let's see if we can get back to where we were. So that's what they're doing this year.
I'm just saying that's literally the same program we've been on.
Color, it's been
that's
2
not.
years,
I disagree
bro.
with that. Now the other thing I'll say to this is, let's say we we either are the same or we're worse. If we're the same as we were the last 2 years or we're worse, I've said this. I said this the day we hired McDaniel. Y'all can quote me on this and go back, keep the receipt, whatever you want to say. Don't be surprised if we are the same record or even 10 wins. I even think 10 wins is still a possibility and we miss out on the playoffs.
Yep.
McDaniel could get fired after
McDaniel is
1
on
year.
trajectory of a lame duck if you don't get in the playoffs.
That's not fair. That is not fair at all.
Hold on.
I don't want to hear fair, bro.
Told us that coaching is the only answer.
Finish.
What about me? What's unfair for me, bro?
I'm sorry.
All right. I never said that it was fair. I never said that it was fair. I never said that it's what I want to happen. I said, don't be surprised if this is the outcome of what could happen if this is the results that we get. Now, with that being said, you have to understand why. Because I said when we fired Flores, I said, guys, what we need is a former head coach who has a history of winning in the past. We did not get that with McDaniel. I wasn't too happy about it, but I'm with McDaniel. He has my full support. But if let's play my scenario out, that he gets fired after 1 year, I'm going to name a name. Sean Payton. I'm telling y'all right now.
Again, Stephen D, all I'm saying is that everything you just said is exactly what I'm saying. That's the same thing we've been doing for 25 years.
Okay, and what I'm telling you is the only similarities.
But it's only been 2 years.
The only similarities that I see is that there's one big one, and it's a glaring one, and there's no way around
first-time head coach.
It's a first-time head coach, and that's exactly El Capitan's on my.
But really,
but what I will say is McDaniel, to me, is different from the standpoint, and I know y'all are going to bring up Gase, and I get that.
I was going to,
you're going to bring up Gase, but I think that McDaniel is like this man looks like he's an offensive guru. Now Gase had Peyton Manning. You know, who else did he had? What's his face in Chicago?
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler. So I don't know if he was
a waste
that
of $10 million. We still need
no doubt.
Right.
But what I'm saying is,
he played decent.
Even though he's a first-time head coach, McDaniel seems to me to be different than the previous 7 head coaches.
So let's take inventory of what's different. Tyreek Hill is literally the only different thing we've done. We finally got a guy.
Whoa.
Time out, Color. Time out,
Hold on. Now I let everybody else finish.
Because we've done that before too.
Yeah, we've done Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall was
Mike Wallace. Even
what I'm trying to say is
the defensive
when all of us are sitting there watching other teams,
let me just say this real quick.
Hold on, Alex, hold up. Go ahead, Color.
I'm sick of y'all doing this Mike Wallace, Tyreek Hill comparison.
I'm not even trying to make that comparison.
I haven't
even made any comparison.
It's going out there getting glitz and glamour and expecting big
I'm not
things.
talking about them as players comparison.
And
I'm talking about the ideology of us getting a
big splash
top flight splash weapon that's going to turn around things.
I wanted to go back to the Russell.
Hold on, Alex. I want to go.
Please finish what I was saying, man.
That's what I'm doing. Hold on.
Go ahead,
Color, Alex, then Andrevius. Color, Alex, Andrevius. Go ahead, Color.
When we're all sitting there watching other teams in the postseason like we've done for the last 25 years, we all see that guy where we're like, man, why don't we ever get a guy like that? And that guy this year was Tyreek Hill, and we finally did it. That's literally the only difference of anything we've done differently than we have the past 25 years. That's it. Everything else is the same. The revolving door of coaches, the unsurety at quarterback, everything else is seriously.
I would say Tehran
We blew the team up to create another ticking time bomb. That's what we did.
That's not true, Color.
That's
not true. I'm gonna rebuttal that real quick. I'm gonna rebuttal this. I'm gonna rebuttal that real quick. First,
Alex.
I got 2 points to this.
And then
my first take is this. Going back to the Russell blow up real quick. They had to do it because of all the bad. Because we were in cap hell. That was the reason. That was one of the main reasons why we blew up the roster. Because we had to get rid of all the bad contracts that we had on this team, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, that's one. There's now, Color, I'm going to rebuttal you real quick. 75, and 80% of the offense has been revamped. Okay? Devontae Parker's no longer
Take
here.
inventory. Who are those people? Alex? You can't just say that without taking inventory. Who they are.
Color, let him go.
Hold on, Color.
Let him
Hold
go.
on, Color. They brought in Cedric Wilson. They drafted Eazy-E. They brought in Ray, whatever his name is. A couple guys from the 49ers. Isaiah Ford is no longer on this roster. The only overhaul from last year is Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle's the only overhaul on the receiving core from last year. You still have Mike Gesicki, yes. Yes, it is. Jalen Waddle's the only overhaul.
I'm getting lost here. What are we doing here?
No, Color says
again, because 80% of the roster or 80% of the offense.
Color says we pretty much have the same team as last year.
Clayton, did you say 80% of the roster or 80% of the offense? I just want to clarify. Did you say 80% of the roster?
Color said we had the same offense as last year. That's pretty much what he said.
Yeah, with different
names. That's not true.
That's right, with different
names. That's not
true.
That's not
we
true.
have
It's
different
not.
players than what we had
missed
last
what he
year.
said. He said with
The
different
whole
names.
offense
He's
has
saying the
been
same
revamped.
skill set.
No.
It's not
We don't.
the same
We
skill
don't.
is the
We
only
don't.
major difference in skill set.
How do you figure?
That's what he's
It's
trying to
not the
say.
same skill set.
Andreas, what's going on here?
The whole running back core. You brought in Chase Edmonds. You bring in Sony Michel.
Chase
Okay,
Edmonds
you bring in Raheem
touchdowns
Mostert
last year.
I'm staying quiet. That's what's going
Oh my
on.
God, it does not matter. Oh God,
touchdowns matter, bro. Don't tell me touchdowns don't matter.
Oh my God, you see. Can we wait before we start to rush the
But what Color's trying to say, the only difference is production-wise is Tyreek Hill. That's all he's trying to say.
Hey, if these running backs ain't more productive than what we had last year, scratch that.
The running back is going to be more productive.
Wait. If you match up their numbers as far as what they did on the offense as far as scoring, that's what Color's trying to say.
Wait a minute. Isaiah Ford's catch percentage last year was 70%.
Boom. Here we go with
all right, let Andrevius go. Let Andrevius go.
Please, Andrevius.
Help me.
I don't know where to go right now.
I can't believe you guys are not understanding what I'm trying to say. Like I can't believe you guys are not understanding that.
It's on
Now that
Andrevius.
we understand what you're saying. That's the issue.
The whole offense was revamped. The whole offense was revamped.
So hold on. Let me.
Color said that.
Color's trying to say as far as impact players, it was only one man that made the difference.
So
Okay.
I actually get what Color's saying. I get what Color's saying. I don't exactly agree with it, but I get it. But because I feel like we done something to help the old line get better. Like I feel like we got at least like 3 of those 5 guys are going to be solid this year. Last year we could only say that about one guy with like any confidence. And then I think the fact that we got 3 receivers that we feel like we can actually depend on being quality receivers, that matters as well. The running back issue is the only thing I'm still like, I don't know. Like I want these guys to be those guys, but I'm still like, I don't know.
Andreas, I think the running back,
fair,
I think the running back core is going to be better than what it was
last year.
I think it's going to be much better than what it was last year. I think the receiving core is going to be much better than what it was last year.
And Andreas, to your point, I don't disagree with what you're saying. That paper wise, we have made some improvements, sure. But until we see what we have done nothing. We have no different a team than we did last year.
But how can you say that if you don't see it?
Y'all can say that though, Colin. Like
no. You can't say that
if you questions. We don't
how you
know
going to
if the
compare
coaching staff
something
is going
to
to
something
utilize
you
these
have not
players
seen?
properly. We don't know if they're going to pick the right 53 guys. We don't know a lot of things.
But
I do know that Isaiah Ford had a 70% catch percentage last year. So for Alex to just throw him out with the bathwater and say, well, we're improved because Isaiah Ford's no longer here, that's just a stupid take.
No, that's not what I meant.
Color.
What I just said?
What you just said
was the whole receiving core was revamped.
Wait, Alex.
They
getting rid of Isaiah Ford is not revamping the offense.
It's no longer here.
You're squeaking, Alex.
Isaiah Ford is not a revamp.
Jalen Waddle's the only receiver from last year that's here.
That's not a revamp.
Put some bass in it.
That's a rebuild.
No,
that's not a rebuild. That's
exactly.
a retool.
That's a rebuild.
That's a
Rebuild
out everybody for somebody different. That's all we've done.
Are y'all done?
Color, why are you
rebuilding
so
is
positive?
different from retooling?
Is you
It's
done
not a
or is you
rebuild.
finished? Is you done or is you finished?
Because
We
you're
need to be positive about this team. We need to be positive.
Color.
No, we don't.
So what you're saying is we have the same team as
Dilute
the
pitch
last
a little
20
bit, maybe I'll be
years,
more positive.
but we can't say that we have a different team because we haven't seen it yet. But we can say we have the same team because we haven't seen it yet. Is what you're saying?
What I'm looking at is the production of the players we brought in comparison to the ones we are planning to replace them with or have replaced them with. It is no different. Sometimes it's less.
It's not?
In the case of Chase Edmonds, it's less.
In Sony Michel?
In the running back room, as far as touchdown production.
Like if we're gonna do
Rashad, let me ask you a question. Who do you think, off the top of your head, your first default player in the running back room is the odd man out? Who's your guy?
Gaskins.
Thank you. I rest my case. A guy that scored 42 points for us last year.
Wait, I don't understand what you said. What's your point?
You're getting rid of 42 points, and how much did Michelle and Edmonds? How much?
Last year? Wait.
So yeah,
Am I getting?
Yeah, between passing and running.
Yes, he had 7 touchdowns last year. Chase Edmonds had 2, I think, maybe even 1. I have to look again.
All right.
So to Adravia's point, the running back.
You don't care about Chase Edmonds?
Has went down.
He's the guy replacing.
I care for Sony Michel, brother.
Yeah.
Chris, can you take this over on your channel?
Yeah, sure. I'll
right,
open her up for a bit. If color can help me out, I will. Yeah, I'll do some
Chase
final
Edmonds
thoughts.
didn't have one single receiving touchdown last year,
We
and
got
we
to do
all
final
credited
thought
him
of the
for being a
day.
better
I got stuff to do. I got stuff
Yeah,
to do.
Listen,
Get out of here.
Listen, Color.
Final thought of the day. Hold on, Rashad. Y'all can finish y'all's argument over on El Capitan's channel here in a minute. El Capitan, do your final thought of the day and set up your live stream.
Perfect. I would say this on a final thought. I think things are different. I didn't agree with the blow up. I think we made out like bandits with the Laramie Tunsil trade. It has been the gift that's been keeping on giving. And I think I don't know. I have a lot of faith in Chris Greer personally. I know the one thing I knock against him is he's kind of weak-kneed when it comes to what his coach wants. And I would rather him scout and pick guys and then let the coach figure out what to do with them, which is why I think McDaniel's in the building, honestly. But if we still end up where we are and have been, it'll kind of all be for naught. If we're still a 9-win team, 8-win team, and, getting Tyreek and all that stuff, God, bro, that would be so Dolphins, wouldn't it? That would be so Dolphins, wouldn't it? So, all right, guys. I'll see you all in a little while.
Yep, see you in a minute.
Take it easy, Steven.
See you, man.
Yep. Hey, Steven, can I go real quick?
Yep, go ahead, bro.
I think the color, the gist of what Color was saying, because I'm going to be analytical about it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Color. However, we may have been different in the personnel changes from this year compared to the last 20 years, but the ideology of making big splashes in the off season has been no different from a productivity standpoint. So in other words, Tyreek Hill is the only difference maker as far as the big splash. It's the ideology of what we've been doing over the last 20 years has been the same, because we've always won the off-season Super Bowls, but never lifted the Lombardi Trophy. That's what he was trying to say.
True.
Pretty much. And I don't disagree that what we've done shouldn't garner us more wins. I'm not trying to argue against that. I'm just simply saying that we act like bringing Tyreek Hill in is like now everything is different than it's been. No, we're still acting and doing the same things we've done over the years. We as fans have anointed Chase Edmonds as this great running back because we saw flashes of him while we're watching an Arizona game last year. Well, why did they decide to keep the guy with tread on him instead of the young guy? Why did they decide to keep Connor over Edmonds if Edmonds is this star everybody else is making him out to be?
I'm not making Edmonds out to be no star.
Me either.
No, I wasn't making Edmonds to be a star. I was just making to be a productive player.
What I'm saying is from the moment he got in the building, he is Gaskin's replacement. Nobody ever even thought for a second that somebody has to compete against somebody that scored 7 touchdowns last year.
Listen, I told you the running back
about scoring anymore.
Hold on, Colin. I got a bad connection. My signal went out. Like I said, Edmonds is not my guy. I'm all Sonny Michel. But Gaskins got replaced mid-season. The first week we were picking up running backs.
I got to go. Y'all can do this over on the
My bad,
Fence
Stephen
Tailgate
D.
Network.
My bad, Stephen D.
Final thoughts. Y'all making this out to be a whole other panel.
With that final thought, I'll just say, hey, Rashad,
Sorry,
I can do the same thing everybody else does and blame the coaching for that.
Okay, you're right.
Color and Rashad, you guys go report to the Fins Tailgate Network right now. Both of you. Okay? Go report
I didn't do anything.
It's all good, man. I do think we've done different. I just like overall, it could end up
go
being
again.
You know what? You both are gone. You're both Rashad, you didn't. You know what? Real quick, do you want to do your final thought, real quick, Rashad? You don't get a final thought. You over here making this. Go over there to Fins Tailgate. All right. Let's see here. Who? Alex, final thought, real quick.
All right. I'm not going to sit here and rush a judgment on anything without seeing what this team is about. But I do have high expectations this year about this team, and if it doesn't work out, I'll be disappointed. But we'll see how this season goes. I hope that this team performs well. Tua performs well. If not, then got to move on to something else. But we'll see what happens, guys. Thank you for having me on again, Stephen, in the morning. God bless you and your family.
God bless
you. Take care. Man. And you guys have a great night. Andrevius, Lewis, everybody in this panel, man. You guys have a great night.
You too.
Great day.
Go report. Go report to the Fins Tailgate. Go. Just go. Be gone. All right. Who's next? Who else I got? David, final thought. Real quick, David.
I try to be quiet the whole time, see if I can get kicked off and nobody bit.
No, hey, I got kicked off twice today.
Well, I know. You see that?
There were only 2 people.
I was quiet. Stephen, I still got blamed for having the bad take.
I know, bro. I was the only person to get kicked off today. That's okay. I understand. That's all right.
I was quiet, and I was the only one that got a bad take, and I didn't say anything. But later, guys, I'll see you on the Capitan channel.
David, this was the best show you ever had.
It was the best show you ever had.
Exactly.
All right, crypto.
You should try being quiet more often.
Crypto, final thought of the day.
Oh man, it's crazy. Where do I start? It's been a good morning. Appreciate it, Stephen Day.
Yes.
And
by the way, donate to the channel. We're $70.
Donate, like, comment, subscribe.
We're $70 away from our goal today. It was a slow donation day. I understand it. Donate to the channel. I don't care if it's $1. There's 74 of y'all. So if all 74 of y'all donated $1, we'd get to our goal today. So donate to the channel. Let's go. All right, Crypto.
Absolutely. No, it's good. It's been good. Been fans. Stephen D almost set a record on his own show being kicked off. And Andrevius did good. He didn't have to spend a lot of money today. At least that's I checked.
I know.
It didn't seem like he didn't have to take out a mortgage to throw me off today.
I think
that was pretty good.
I think Andrevius was enjoying the panel today. We don't want to say that too loud. We don't want that to get out.
He was enjoying it. That's right. That's true. It's all good. Andrevius, good people. Yeah, and Lewis, likewise. Y'all have.
Andrevius got $2 towards the cause. All right, where's everybody else's dollar? Let's go.
Oh, is that the swear? Oh, the swear thing. Oh, okay,
that might be a swear jar, but I don't know. I don't think he's
cool
today. Yeah.
Yeah,
y'all collected today. No cursing.
No cursing.
That's what I was saying. I was like, oh
he
just
donated $2 out of the kindness of his heart. That's what he did.
That was cool. It was good, man. Y'all definitely have a good one. I definitely see y'all on the next stream. Y'all be good, man.
Be good. All right.
I'm finish eating this apple, man. I'm not chopping down no cherry trees today, man. I'm just gonna eat a regular apple.
All right. Get out of here, Crypto. Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave Andrevius as my final thought. So, Lewis, final thought of the day, sir.
Ain't nothing, man. I see everybody on the fence tailgate. I got here late, but like I said, just put all our players in bubble wrap. We're all scared and stuff to play players. We don't want to put Tyreek as punt returner. It's just so it don't matter. Just put this team in bubble wrap. Send them to the Arena Football League, and it is what it is, man. I see y'all.
Lewis, tell people what they need to do. Tell the listeners what they need to do today.
Listen, like, subscribe, donate to the channel.
How much can they donate? Like, what's the littlest amount they can donate, Lewis?
If it was up to me, it would at least be $10. Everybody got $10, man. Look, you go to McDonald's, you paying $9.95 for a quarter pounder with cheese, bro. Give this man $10. This man comes out here every day, except Mondays. But Tuesday through Friday, Stephen D's here for us. Go like and subscribe. Throw some money to that man. Yeah, no, you do take Mondays off. So let's just.
I said when the season comes back, I'll be back on Mondays, Lewis. Get out of here, Lewis. I love you, bro. Be good, man.
I love you guys. You guys be good. I'll catch y'all on the tailgate. All right, Andrevius, be easy, pimp.
Oh, wow. All right, be easy. Wow, Bonjo, that's wild. Wow, that's wild. I've never had somebody get kicked doing 10 minutes. I feel like I should just wait 10 minutes, but I can't. I actually got to go. That's so bad. You know what? Andrevius should just pay the $20 to get back on. That's wild. Wow. That's hey, Bonjo, you at least need to come up and give your final thought of the day, Bonjo. What I got to pay to get Andrevius back on? $20. So whatever, it's $10 timeout. $20 gets you back on. So he hasn't left the back room. I think he wants to give his final thought. I'm just saying. That's messed up, Bonjo. I've never seen. That's like he's like, I feel like if I had to cue it up, I'd play the Dave. I hate all y'all. I hate you. I hate you. I especially hate you. And I hate you more. Andrevius paid the 20. He's back. He's back. And Bonjo can't let him go.
Listen, man. If you shoot for the king, you bet not miss. And you miss.
Damn it.
I've never seen that, bro. That was wild. That was good.
Oh man, that was hilarious. Oh.
Now if Von 954 gets you off here, I'ma laugh.
Oh my gosh. Listen, great show.
I said Andrevius was the final thought. So
yeah, so he listen, he earned it, man. You got it, Dre. You got it. Listen, Stephen, great show. Hey guys, support, donate, help the channel grow. If you see somebody, tell them about the channel. We could help it grow that way. It doesn't always have to be financial. Love you guys. Hey, Andrevius, hey man, you got it.
$30.
Fins up.
Wow. The level 2 noob, you can come up here and do your final thought of the day. You can come up here. The link is in the chat, level 2 noob. Kill him.
Listen, guys, I really ain't even got no final thoughts. I just couldn't let Bonjo win. Let's see.
He said you hate, but all I could think of was Dave Chappelle. I hate you. I especially hate you.
No. Anyways, I just want to tell y'all about this vision that was delivered to me in a dream. It was delivered by whatever deity you believe in. I don't really care what you believe in, but just know your deity sent me a vision. It's kind of anticlimactic as a Dolphins fan. He sent me a vision that the Dolphins will go to the Super Bowl this year. He just didn't tell me if we'd win. He left out if we was going to win or not. I asked the question. He didn't tell me. I don't know what to tell you guys. Maybe he just wanted to leave a little, spontaneity. I don't know how to say that word.
Spontaneity.
Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. We're going to the Super Bowl. So we're going to be happy this season. I don't know why you guys I get it. You're skeptical. Your deity didn't send me this vision for no reason. That's all I'm saying. Hopefully we win the Super Bowl, but we're definitely going. If we don't go, y'all hold me accountable, curse me.
Y'all heard it here first.
Stay tall. You know what? after the Super Bowl, if we're not in it, I won't come on the panel for a month.
No. You have to come on and take your beating like a man. So you can't do that.
Yeah, there's that.
Huh?
Yeah, there's that. I'll take my beating like a man, but they'll probably just be banning me for this take if we don't make the Super Bowl. So there was no beating to be taken.
Hey, look, I'm just saying.
Anyways, y'all stay blessed.
I love you, brother. Be good, man.
Stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, for me too.
Yeah. At least try. At least try.
Power, brother. Power. All right. I love you, man. Be good, brother. Hey, just to let y'all know, tonight at 7 p.m., I will be on the I Believe podcast. I will be on the I Believe podcast with Roach, where we will be talking about the Men in Black movie franchise and about aliens and secret organizations and all of that. We're going to talk about the movie and how is there stuff like this in real life? Is this real? Is this just somebody's imagination, or is this real stuff? Like, we're going to talk about Men in Black because I'm a movie guy. So, the I Believe podcast, that's 7. I will be on with my man. Matter of fact, let me get that link real quick. I'll drop the link for you. Hold on. YouTube, the I Believe podcast. And where's that? Right here. Here we go. Copy, paste. There we go. There's the link. That's the link to the video for tonight, the stream at 7 p.m. Okay? So make sure y'all watch. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be there. Okay? Obviously. I love y'all. Y'all the best fans in the world. We got $40 away from goal. I know Von 954 said he had 30. Where that though? Where that though? Von 954? You donate that 30 right now, Von 954. I will let you have 3 credits tomorrow to ban people on Spread Kindness Friday. 3 $10 credits. Can't beat that, Von 954. I'm just saying. Coast to coast YouTube. Yeah, I know, bro. We take you everywhere, man. Late night alien talk. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited about it because I've never done any. Like, I'm a little into it. Like, I like sci-fi movies, so it'll be good. It said no. I told Von Joe to go 30 to one up on Dravius. Oh, that's what it was, Von 954. Okay. Walking back now, Von, whatever Von you are. You fake Von. Von Joe's the real Von 954. Yeah, I said it. All you Vons. I do love y'all. You're all the best fans in the world. I gotta go hang out with my kids and my wife, who are the best people in the world besides y'all. I hate you. I especially hate you. I hate all y'all. Spread hateness, not kindness. Ha 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 ha. Charlie Murphy. Sorry. I like it. It's my favorite. Love Chappelle Show. Go watch it. If you guys want to laugh, go watch Chappelle Show. All right. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Spread kindness Fridays tomorrow. We're going to spread kindness, not hate. We're not going to spread no hate. We're going to spread kindness. Ain't going to be no chaos. Okay? I love y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show today. And, see y'all tomorrow. Love y'all. Peace.